Hello everyone, I am Tacit, and today in Brighter Shores we ended up getting the Stonemason bounties with the Rock Eater bounty specifically. It is the 23rd of March 2026. But yeah, Stonemason bounties end up coming into the game. The Rock Eaters have arrived to the mines of Matubin as part of the Stonemason bounties. These hungry blobs want you to serve up a delicious meal consisting of a freshly crafted weapon or shield, obviously from Stonemason. You will find that Rock Eaters are not as fussy as kobolds, and they will be satisfied with any weapon or shield of their favorite flavor, or damage kind, as a humans might call it. Stonemason bounties are unlocked by reaching milestone 3, which is a really hefty level. That is level 150 Stonemason. I do have this on two of my accounts, my main and our Hammer Mage, of course, but that is still a very, very high requirement. We do have it though, so of course we'll be messing with it, but this is the highest requirement for any bounty system so far in the game, as well as tied highest with like 3 other skills for the highest bounty requirement to be able to go and unlock it. And you can pick up the Stonemason bounties from the bounty board in the Stonemason room. Oddly enough, not multiple of them, only one in the Stonemason room, which obviously there'd be one there. Which makes me think there might only be one alchemy board when they end up adding it for alchemy as well. There are 2 kinds of Stonemason bounties, craft only, which is to be expected, and the ones that are actually worth doing probably, the craft and deliver to a Rock Eater. Which is a bunch of Rock Eaters everywhere we have to go and feed them stuff. Some quality of life improvements. They actually made the Forager gloves wieldable. So crafting Forager gloves now also rewards a transmog of it so that you can wear them if you want to wear them cosmetically. This is purely cosmetic. You do not need to be wearing them in order to get the boost. However, if you want to wear them, you can. And flounders are slightly easier to click on. I wish they would make this update like 20 long, just listing out something is easier to click on, something is easier to click on for like 30 different resources, because you need it for more than just Flounder. Flounder is not the only one with a bad hitbox. They fixed a bug with Filtration for the billing of time, and they fixed various typos. Also, still very addicted to Filtration, by the way. Also, I believe they updated this to re-clarify that there's now skill trees there. We kind of already knew about this, but I don't think it actually mentioned this specifically by name earlier, even though we knew it would be skill tree. But combat improvements, including skill trees and special attacks to make enemies and factions more distinct. But yeah, I believe it specifically mentions skill trees here now. We've already knew that this would have been, but yeah, they actually specifically mentioned it there now. I don't think it did before. One other thing we got, which I haven't actually fully looked at yet, is the updated schedule. So as far as the schedule is concerned, we already knew up to the Easter event before. However, we have 3 new things that we didn't know as of previously. One is the seams and geodes for Miner, where it'll continue the chain that they've been doing, where the next one that we're going to be doing is Leatherworker is getting a buff from Miner. But now Miner's going to get a buff from Woodcutting, and then Woodcutter's going to get a buff from Alchemist, which means following that, Alchemist will get a buff from something, and then that something will get a buff from something else, and you know, it's just going to continue this chain reaction until they like full circle every skill in the game or something. I have no clue how far they're making it go, but so far it's still going. Of course, most recently we got Forager getting buffed by Leatherworker, so now Leatherworker's going to mining, mining's going to woodcutting, wooding to alchemy, and you know, everything beyond that point. But as far as the new things we know of, we're getting seams and geodes. What on earth this is, who knows? But it might give 20% quicker mining or something. I'm hoping it's something slightly different than that though, just because Miner, unless they fix the respawn timers, does not benefit at all from a 20% quicker mining speed. The only one exception to this is if you're doing a combination of flint plus basalt. So maybe this will be something completely different, but we'll have to wait and see. And this is upgraded based on your woodcutting level, so I'm probably going to get very few buffs from this. Woodcutting is really low on, currently. I only have it at tier 5. It's one of my lowest skills. So, yeah, we're not going to be able to get much of a benefit from that, but if nothing else, Miner's almost max, so kind of doesn't matter. And then woodcutting getting enhanced from alchemy is kind of interesting, as we are eventually going to have like max alchemy before we even have like tier 6 woodcutting. So this will actually be really, really useful to speed up woodcutting whenever we do get around to it, whatever enhanced trees will ultimately end up doing. And then of course we're getting Fractured Reality in between that. This is the first 7-star quest. We have no clue what the reward is, but it's the first 7-star, so it could be something huge. Who knows? Maybe we finally get our first amulet slot. Could you imagine? But yeah, we don't really know anything, I don't think, about this. I don't think anything's been leaked about it. All we know is this is the first 7-star quest, which is the current highest star, unless they make them go higher in the future. I assume they're eventually going to make them go to 10th star, but in the current state of the game, this would be the highest ever. I would advise getting at least milestone 2 and everything in Mines of Matubin. You kind of need that anyways to go do smithing bounties and stonemason bounties, and to be able to do this mining thing that's coming out soon, and you know, stuff like that. Because next week we're getting a mining buff. 1 week from today, assuming it comes out on time, which this one did. It did come out on today. But assuming the mining one comes out on time, or I should say the Leatherworker, we are getting a Leatherworker buff that's tied to mining. So good idea to get milestone 2 and everything for Mines of Matubin, not only only for these activities that we've been getting recently, like the smithing bounty, stonemason bounties today, so on and so forth. But fractured realities is very likely going to require at least milestone 2 for every skill in Mind of Batube. I know we don't currently know the exact requirement, but it's likely to be very, very, very high. Anyways, as far as our main account, we still haven't gotten max forger yet, by the way. I keep getting distracted by other things, but we are still poking out that grind. Haven't really been streaming it much, just mostly been doing the passives and stuff for it. But we are getting ever so closer to finally getting that extra venture slot, so that we can start doing an extra thing, start running like double of the merchant or whatever we're going to ultimately do with it. But we are getting closer and closer. But to course, today we are going to be focused almost entirely on Mind of Batube. Before we do get over to Stonemason bounties though, which are right over to the room over there, let's go check the new gloves. So you can wield these gloves now. Let's see what they look like. So here are all the new gloves. I currently only have 2 tier 6, but of course there are a tier 7, tier 8, and tier 9 gloves. I cannot show those because our leather worker is not high enough, but we can show all these. So this one actually matches the leather pretty well. Ooh, I actually like those. Even though I'm pretty sure that's the tier 1 one. This one's a little bit higher. This might match some of the other gear. Like if you were a hammer mage, this might match the hammer mage gear a little bit more. Yeah, this one matches the cryonite arm thing really perfectly right there. Honestly, I might rock these. Because it just continues like that leather that you have there. So you don't have like the big metal plating that you normally have. But that's actually kind of cool. Let's see what the other ones look like. So that one, just that. This one. Okay, so now they start having like the whole sleeve on them. And then they just get like an elaborate sleeve. And that's what the final 3 would likely have as well. Like the more elaborate sleeve on each one. We kind of see that slightly by looking at the thingy as well. Like, let's see what the max one looks like. It's like the max one kind of looks like this. Or probably have like a golden sleeve going on there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think I'm just going to rock the standard one, I think. Because it matches the little bit of brown right there on the cryonite thingy. So, I'm just going to rock those, I guess, for now. Alright. But yeah, you don't need to weird them to get the boost. It's just purely cosmetic. But it's an option now if you do want to do so. Every single time we come over here, I am going to need to start grabbing a bunch of ore. Because I do not have any of this converted. And the next one we're going to need is this tier 6. Might even need some other stuff that I don't have. I need to go double check later. Oh wait, I just realized. I just grabbed tier 6 basalt. I meant to grab tier 7, but I'm just now realizing I can't buy tier 7 basalt. I meant to just buy tier 7 right there, but I forgot. I need more levels before I can. Whoops. Well, maybe I'll need tier 6. So I did grab one of these bounties earlier. However, I haven't actually done a single one of them yet, so let's go do them for the first time. My understanding of this is we just have to go and make something of the correct flavor and then just bring it to them, and we should be good to go. I don't think we're going to make any of these. Though I do need to go get some carpentry supplies because it's going to ask me to build some stuff that I probably can't do that easily. So let's see what we have here. This is a little bit more confusing compared to a normal bounty because you got to make it based on anything that fits its category. But because of that, you kind of have to figure out what each one actually wants. Like right here, this one wants a green food. However, if we don't know what all the hammer mage weapons are, we might not know what the next green weapon is. I think it's Stone Mace, if I'm not mistaken, is green. Let me double check. Yes, Stone Mace is indeed green. And for that, I should probably go make some carpentry trips. Let me go do that right now. Because I have a feeling we're going to need so many carpentry supplies. I do not have banks, so let me just stock up on them now so we don't need to do it later. Just get like 4 or 5 inventories so we're set for the rest of the stream. Just so we don't have to go out of our way to buy anything from Chapter 2. But luckily we got the nice Timberwall teleport from that one mushroom quest. So we can just go straight into the town, go straight to the shop, go buy a few inventories, and be good to go. So let's go see everything that we're going to need. We're going to need for impact, I'm going to need whatever this supply is. So I'm going to need a bunch of pine poles, tier 7. Other things we're going to need are whatever this pole is, which is hickory. So let's get like 2 inventories of pine, 2 inventories of hickory, and see if there's anything else in like that other category we might need. Because there might be one other thing like yew pole or something we might need. What am I doing? Hickory and pine. So let's do 2 of both. And that should hold us over, hopefully, for the entire stream to go to all these bounties. Something I probably should have done beforehand, but... oh, we'll get them now. It doesn't take that long. Take like a few minutes just to grab them real quick. And given that the bounties should break even, especially all the delivery bounties, because if you're only doing delivery bounties, they're always tier 2. It's kind of set up kind of like how cooking... Oh, no, never mind. They're tier 1 as well. Never mind. As I can say, I thought the tier 1 was make only. No, you still have deliveries on tier 1. So we did get pretty lucky with a lot of tier 2 then, I guess. That's not too bad. Alright, let's get another set of hickory. Let's go get the pines and let's start delivering to these guys. So to my understanding, these are all across the area. So if I click show on map, it should show me what room they're allocated to. So this green one that we need to go make the mace out of that one pole. We're going to go and need to go bring it to the obelisk room. For this one, we're going to need to go bring it to the minecart room for the astute looking guy. For the jester-looking one, we're going to need to go to that one dead-end room that's basically used for nothing. Let's see. Oops. Also, one thing that you could do here while you're doing stuff like this, because of these auto-make things, you could actually fully auto-make a plant whenever you're doing leatherwork or not leatherwork, or whatever you're doing carpenter. If you're off cooldown, you can do one full auto-make and then just drop it to the ground for a little bit of free gather XP. Something worth considering whenever you're in this area doing whatever. Oh, I forgot. We haven't actually gotten to see this water meter. There's our water meter. They added this several patches ago. I've never actually shown it yet, though, because I just have been avoiding gather like the plague. Let me get some tier 6 poles. I'm not sure if I have any. I'll just grab one set. They should only take one each. And then I just need to get 2 sets of pines, and we should be good to go, I think. Let's just double check where the chef is and the other guy. So the chef is over by the cockroaches in a really weird dead end. That's a really bad spot. And then the other one is right by the Cobalt Arena, right in front of it, which makes sense. Oh yeah, I actually saw him earlier when I was turning in the thingy, as I was doing a smithing bounty earlier. Also, we will be doing some smithing bounties too, since we are eventually going to get locked out of doing stonemason bounties, obviously. Because once we go finish all these out and then go do the ones at the end of the hour, then, you know, we'd kind of hit a brick wall where we can't do them anymore, since we don't have the shiny ones. Actually, do we get shiny ones next level? We don't. Ooh, also one other thing they changed. They made it so all tier 10s now give shinies, by the way. So you can always be able to go and do them, which is nice. What am I doing? Pine pole? I think it was pine pole. Because I grabbed the hickories. Yeah, now I just need pine. Let me get 2 sets of pine and we should be good to go. And on the final set, I can just teleport over. We should be fine by then. But yeah, I forget when they did this, but they finally made it so all of the bounties near the end are shiny. So that whenever you get to max level, you'll actually be able to just do bounty after bounty after bounty after bounty and go from there. It's a very nice change that they end up making to it. A couple patches ago. It's been out for a little while now. I'm not sure what mini update did it, but some mini update finally changed that. So you're not punished for being max level. It was just really weird for stuff like alchemy, for example. Where at like tier 9 you had the golden bounties, but then at max tier it's like, oh, you don't get them anymore. It was just really weird. But now at every max bounty tier, you do end up getting them, which is nice. This should be the final one. Let's just go teleport over, and we should be good to go. Let's go start fulfilling these bounties then. So this guy wants green, which means he wants the mace. This one wants impact, which means he wants the little fist glove thing. This guy wants Tempest Day, so he probably wants the big U pole thingy. This one wants Necromay, so I think he wants the little throwy thingy. I think the little throwy things out of flint or basalt or whatever it was count as those. Oops, wrong one. And then shield is literally just any shield. That one's pretty straightforward. Though you do need Deathstone for it. Deathstone is not buyable from a shop. Luckily, I did preemptively mine a bunch of Deathstone of this tier for today, just so we wouldn't need to deal with it. As this is the one thing we can't buy from shops, so I made sure to stock up beforehand. Didn't get like a huge amount, but you know, that'll hold us over for easily today. Probably for the week, depending on how many bounties we do. But yeah, let's start tackling these one at a time, trying to remember what you need for Stonemason. Because I don't do Stonemason enough to actually remember what everything is. So this one that we need for green is what? Flint into a hickory pole. So of course we just bought the hickory pole, so we'll grab that. I technically only need one, but I will grab a few just in case. So we need tier 7 hickories. We'll grab the 6. I'll then grab every flint. One nice thing is even though I don't have basalt at this tier, I do have a ton, and I mean a ton, of tier 7 flint. This was one of the ones similar to the iron ore that actually got converted correctly. So I already have a 1007 processed ore for this, or stone. So I'm already good to go whenever they want one of these. Oh yeah, I forgot. You gotta go to the right station. This is really weird. Stonemason works so much weirder compared to the other two. Wait, which one is it? One-handed? Yeah, one-handed melee. Here we go. Oh yeah, I got there. But yeah, we'll make this and we'll just start going down the entire line. It's really unfortunate. All of them want something different. Which some of them wanted the same thing, so it'd make it a little bit easier. But every single one wants something a little bit different, but that's fine. And as far as these, I assume they're pretty similar to how the smithing ones are, where 1 stars will like barely break even, and 2 stars and above are just pure profit, even if you buy everything from the shop. So hello Tyrion, hello Stefan, welcome, welcome. Where do you hand in the blob bounties? If you click on them, it tells you where to go. So if I click on this guy, for example, that I just made this hammer for, I gotta go bring it to him in the Mines of Batuban Obelisk. But you just click show on map and it'll tell you where they are. You just have to click show on map on any given one. And eventually you just kind of memorize where they are. But yeah, show on map just brings it up. Alright, one down, let's go do the next one. So the next one wants impact. I know that's a little fist thingy. I forget what the thing is though. Is it hickory? I think it is hickory, if I will ever click on the right thing. How do I check? Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. View recipe. This should be hickory. No, it's pine. I always forget what wood you need for them. I know what stone you need for basically all of them. I always forget the wood that goes with them, though. Alright, so we need pine and then flint, which of course we have like a billion of. I guess I didn't technically need to bank that. That goes in the one-handed, or is it two-handed? No, it's one-handed. I'm pretty sure it's one-handed. Because you can go to shield while doing it. I think Cryonite's the only one with a two-handed physical. Both the other two classes got one-handed for some reason. But Cryonite got two-handed physical. But this has 4-tick one-hand melee, and Guardian has 5-tick one-hand. Which, of course, we will eventually be getting these bounties for Bone Right as well. They are going to be getting Fractured Realities quest before then, so you won't be able to use that to, like, expedite your training. Alright, what else do we need? Let's see. We ended up needing, a Tempest Day weapon. The main one that comes to mind is making it out of tier 6 material. Because I don't think I can make anything that's yellow at this level. Let me just double check. At this Stonemason level. Are any of these yellow? No. So this is why I bought the U-poles. Because I believe we need to go make the big hammer. This used to require Deathstone, but I believe it requires granite now. So please tell me I have tier 6 granite. I do not. Let me go get like some of it real quick then. Because I do not have like any tier 5 and tier 6 due to how all the resources converted. But yeah, that means he wants this one over here. He wants me to go make him a great hammer, which requires, I believe, granite now, if I'm not mistaken. Because it used to be Deathstone, but they made only the other thing cost Deathstone now. Yeah, it's one U-pole, which I knew, and then a bunch of granite. So let me just buy some granite then, just so we have some for later, as we'll probably get more bounties of these. Get as many as we could fit at the moment. Probably should have had a little bit of a cleaner inventory, but it's fine. We'll come back with restock in a little bit if we need. But yeah, that's the only problem. Some of them are still asking for stuff from tier 6. I wish they would just ask for tier 7 stuff. They seem to only be doing the last 5. But similar to other things. But last 5 is still 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and then the other one goes straight to the previous one. So we kind of need to get one more level before we're really out of the tier 6 area then. Unless some of them are still asking for it. Because Necromay is what? I think Necromay is outside my range. Oh, no, that's Throwing Stone. Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, they seem to just be asking for whatever your most recent 5 is then still. Which is why they're still asking for the, But then again, no, that's actually 6 back, the Great Hammer. So maybe they do go further back than that. It's weird because unlike other bounties, these are asking for a certain color rather than like a certain object. It's really weird compared to most other bounties because most other bounties is like, go cook this exact dish. Or for smithing, it's like, go make this exact weapon. But these are actually very flexible, but also weird in that you might still have to make the same item for like the entire time. Like we could be like the end of tier 7 and still need to go make like the impact weapon all the way at the beginning of the thing. Because if they ask for an impact weapon, I have to make a hammer fist. There is no other option. Actually, there might be one for range. But as far as like melee, it's the only option. So it's kind of weird how that would end up ultimately working. Because they're basically asking for a flavor, aka a type of item, rather than an actually specific item. A little bit different than a lot of other bounties. A little bit more confusing at first, but once you know what everything goes to in Stonemason, it'd be a little bit easier. The only problem is since we're not a hammer mage, I do not have everything memorized perfectly for Stonemason. Probably even less so for Guardian. But let's go make the hammer for him. And then we need to go make Necromay, which is easily just the flint thing. And then the shield is really straightforward. Obviously, we just go bring Deathstone there and just make whatever. Alright, so what am I doing here? I need the Tempest Stay big two-hand weapon. So that means I got to build it over here. One of you, perfect. And then we need to go build the really easy flint thing, which I could just do with my spear. Oh no, this is granite. But I need to go get my spear tier 7 flint and just make one of those ball things then. And then shield's really easy, just go get some Deathstone. Though I don't think I'm processing the Deathstone yet, so we needed to go do that though. But otherwise, it should be pretty straightforward. It's a nice U-pole in there. Alright, we're almost there, and then we get to figure out where all these guys are. Because I have not the slightest clue. So we'll click show on map for each and just kind of try to find them as we go. Alright, let me go grab a bunch of flint. Flint. Already processed, which is great. Make this into the balls because I need a Necromay weapon. And then we just need a shield, which is made out of Deathstone. So we just grab our Deathstone, process it, be good to go then. And just process whatever shield we can there. And they did say technically any shield, so we could actually do that out of tier 6 if we want to. Since you can make these quite a bit of a higher level, as long as they meet the level requirement, we can go and make like a tier 6, wrong tier though. But we can go, or wrong resource, but we can go make like a tier 6 like great shield, this polished shield or something if we want. Because that should go a high enough level, because it says at least level 34. Oh no, but this one's a level 36, never mind. Oh no, but it still goes higher. This is the level range. Or does it? Never mind. Maybe you do still have to do the higher one. Oh, I'll just make the higher one just in case. Alright, let me go get rid of all this, get rid of all this, and then I just need to go get a couple Death Stone because I don't believe I processed any yet. I did mine it, I just didn't etch it yet. Oh no, I did etch some. Not a lot though, but I'll just use that, I guess it's fine. Just make it go a little quicker. I did etch one inventory, only one singular inventory. That's better than none, so we'll just make the shield real quick. And that should be every single bounty for turn-in, then we just gotta figure out where all these are. And by the time we go do that, the bounty board should be ready. Actually, the bounty board should be ready in like a minute. I guess I could go grab one more and go on a big trip everywhere trying to figure out where all these are. Unfortunately, these are a little bit like cooking in that their turn-in locations are all over the place. So unlike something like the arena, you can't really do a big turn-in all at once. It's very similar to cooking in that you basically have to go around the entire town to go and, you know, deliver everything. But in this case, you got to go around the entire mines to go deliver everything, which are a little bit more annoying than the kobolds, since it's a lot less straightforward where you have to go and turn everything in. But let's see if we see any slimes we haven't seen yet on this board. Because we have 5 different ones here. Yep, and there's another 2 different ones. Wow. Wait, not yet available. What do you mean not yet available for these 2? That's weird. Why is it only showing me 4 instead of 6? But yeah, we got 2 other ones we haven't seen. One of them is for fire, wherever this one is, and then another one for cryone. I don't know, I guess we'll grab one of these now. Let me go make a fire one. Problem, what is a fire weapon for Hammer Mage? What is a fire one here? Is the little throwy thing fire? Let me see. I completely forget. That's not what I'm looking for. No, you're green. Oh, we could have done that for green as well. Great hammer. No, you're... Oh, no. Double hammer. Double-headed should be fire, yeah. So I need a U-pole plus... What is this, granite? No, this is... oh, no. It's actually suave into andesite. Okay, so I need tier 6. Oh, no. I might not have tier 6. For either. Oh, no! Oh, no. We got a problem. Okay, maybe I'll just skip that one. That one's actually kind of annoying because I'm missing, like, double on both sides. Oh, no, we'll go get it. I just need to get the supplies later. Let's just do the 5 we have and go from there. Alright, let's see if we can figure out what order to do these in. The problem is I don't know where any of them are. 2 of them are over in the other area. One of them's over there. One of them's over there. So both of them in those 2 dead ends. And this guy's over there by the obelisk. Wasn't there one right over here, though? I could have sworn there's one in this room over here. Because they seem to be in, like, every dead end room. So let's start checking, like, every dead end room and just see what slime is there. So this one has the slime of... none. Alright, that's good to know. This one has the none slime. Does this one have a slime? This one has the slime of Claris, which we saw earlier was where you turn in blue. So any of, like, the cryo weapons go to her. I don't think any of them would be in the Bone Right room, because it's for Bone Right. Yeah, and they're not in the Gas Leech room, so there's none in that dead end. Does this dead end have any of them? Because it's technically a mining dead end, so they might not be here. No, there's not one in the iron ore room. Alright, but there is 2 over here, which we do need to go do both the turn-ins for. So where are we on the meter right now? Oh yeah, we're about to hit it soon. I kind of want to boost up for these next few. Are they all right next to each other? No, that one's by the obelisk. That one we're about to go right into. That one we're also going to do. Oh no, we could try turning in both of these and see if we get enough. See how much knowledge points we're really getting for a turn-in. Alright, so this is the guy who wants the impact weapons. The guy with the little top hat one. So let's go and use our potion and try to turn these 2 in really quickly then. So we have this one, this one. So that one wants the yellow weapon. Alright, so let's go do this. Go and convert into... I'm still putting into smithing, I think. Oops, I meant to use item on, not talk to. Use item on. So this guy wanted the impact weapon. So we give that to him. He'll then eat it. He'll then eat my hand. Good thing we got those gloves on. Alright, there we go. First time bonus. Nice. How much knowledge did that give us? Quite a decent amount, though. It was a rare one. Now we need to go over here to go turn in the yellow weapon. And then what's the next closest one to us? Because I feel like the answer is no. As in none of them are. Oh wait, this guy kind of is. Oh, but I don't have his item though. This guy wanted the yellow weapon. The one with the jester hat. Alright, there we go. Did we get enough? I don't think we did. Let me go to northeast so we could turn into one of those guys. I'm literally 1% sure. Oh, no. Oh, wait. Why didn't it teleport me? That was weird. Alright. Oh, what do I need here? I need to go turn in one of these. I'll turn in the one over here because I need to go the other way anyways to go turn in the other one. Because he's at obelisk. This guy's over here, so I gotta go turn in Necromay. Then we're gonna need shield. So when we tele back, we'll go do shield then. Let's go get this guy Necromay real quick. Hopefully we make it in time so we can get the other knowledge point into it. And then we'll go turn in the obelisk guy and the other one. And then we might need to do some shopping to go do this other guy's task. And then we can also do our smithing bounties then, of course. Alright, so this one wanted Necromay. Which is this one, unless I'm looking at that wrong. It is Necromay, right? Yeah. So you'll eat that. We then use our knowledge point to finish out the rest. Yeah, these are very similar to cooking bounties. Where you make them all in one location and then go across the entire map to go turn them all in. Very similar to cooking bounties. The only main difference is it's a little bit more ambiguous what you have to make compared to most other bounties in the game. Alright, this one I actually did see earlier when I was doing a smithing bounty. This guy's right in front of the Kobold Arena. As we can see right over here as well. And then the other one's all the way by the obelisk. We'll go turn them in at the end then. Alright, you wanted shields. So shield guys in front of the Kobold area. And then green is by the obelisk. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of a little annoying to remember where they are though. As well as re-remembering what every single hammer mage item is so you know what to actually make. I know most of them, but I don't have like all of them memorized. Especially the carpentry material. Oh, so you could be mining as you're going through here too. I'm not going to bother right now though. But this would be a great time to pick up some platinums. But let's go turn in the green. And then we gotta go do our first fire task and our first blue task as well. Oh, there he is. He's blending in. He even has a bunch of shrubbery to go with all the green. Kind of blends in with the room. Alright, let's go now turn in the blue and fire. The only problem is I think I need to buy material for both of them. Alright, oh, so did you just tip me an extra silver? Why did I get extra silver there? Because I'm not actually reading the dialogue at the moment. Probably should be. Because it looked like he gave me an extra 1 point something silver. Alright, let's go get whatever we need for the other two. So for blue, I would need, I think, basalt. Tier 6, which I actually already bought some, so we're good to go. So now I just need flint. Because for blue, I need the ring. Which should be basalt, which we already got some. But now I need tier 6 andesite, which I don't have. So let me buy that, and I need to go buy the poles. So I'll buy tier 6 andesite. I'll then teleport to the village. Because I also need to buy tier 6 of the suave, whatever you call it, pole. So let me go get those, since we were missing all the tier 5 and 6 stuff from the conversion from milestones. So let me go put all this here. Not to mention we haven't done any of this carpentry yet. Eventually we'll do woodcutting carpenter. I'm not sure when, but at some point those levels will be higher than they are. Same as Gatherer. I'm basically almost full ignoring chapter 2. Poor chapter 2. There might be a situation where we max chapter 3, 4, and 1 before even getting above milestone 6 in chapter 2. There's a very high possibility of that happening. Alright, I just need one inventory. I'm not going to grab a ton here. I just need one inventory of specifically tier 6, not tier 7. And that should be everything we need. Let's go and do the other two bounties we have. And that should be every Stonemason bounty we can currently do until the next hourly reset. However, we do have the smithing bounties, and I do still have a lot of flint to process. So I can still go process that flint and start getting our level up. As I do want to get at least 2 basalt by the end of the stream, I think. Get like 2 Stonemason levels. I think that'll be our goal for this stream. Let's try to get at least 2 levels from the activity. Oops, what am I doing? I need to go bring these over here. As we should already have everything we need to go now. And now let's go make both of them. So for this, we're going to need the poles plus the andesite. So let me go to Swave, go to there, grab 4. Grab our other thing on tier 6. I'm going to have to process these. Let me just process a few inventories for now. Luckily, we have plenty of gas, so we're not going to need to get more at any point in the stream. Unfortunately, you can't do it like smithing where you queue up all 3 of them. You can only queue up 2. Bone Rate's actually the same way. It's because it reuses the same hub twice. So you can't re-queue it until it's already done. So until then, now we can go and queue it up. Yeah, let's just get a few of them. Or just do 12 for now. And that will make the blue... no, this will make the fire weapon we need. And then after fire weapon, we'll go make the blue weapon, which we don't have the bounty task for, but it is on the board we saw earlier. So we'll go grab that, and that should be everything we can do for bounties. Because, of course, we're only going to do the turn-in bounties. I don't think it's going to be worth doing the first time only. There is one exception to that, though. If the make-only one is something where we're going to make anyways, it's worth it. Like, for example, I would, if I was training my Stonemason right now without bounties, I would be making throwing stones right now. So if we had a task that said go make throwing stones, it'd be worth it. Otherwise, it's probably not worth. Also, while we're here, I'll do one more inventory, I guess, just while we're in the area. But that's like the only one that would say like make only, and I would actually go make it. I guess Hammer Fist wouldn't be that big a deal either if we were to get the carpentry supplies. The ones that would be annoying to do that way is the Death Stone, just because it's really hard, slow to get a lot of. And the Mace, I don't know, I guess the Mace could be okay. The problem is it requires another carpentry supply again. Is the big issue with a lot of stuff in Stonemason. There's a lot of things in between that just require just a bunch of random carpentry supplies. Boneright's going to be the worst for that, just because everything in Boneright basically requires it. But Stonemason is slightly like that too. Oh, so did they change the appearance of this? What is this? Oh, that's the Greater Stone Mace. Why does that look so much different to me? I don't think I've ever seen it look like that before. Though I guess I've never done it at this tier. But yeah, it looks so much weirder than the other Stone Mace. Because that's the really quick hitting Necromay weapon. The two-handed one. Alright, one nice thing about this too, we're getting the first time bonus on all these too, so a lot of extra value for the first time we get around to them. Alright, so we'll get this one done, then I just need to go make the blue one, and that should be everything. Unless one of them says to go make a bunch of the balls, in which case I'm going to need to do that anyway, so I definitely want to grab it. No, we just got slings. Slings just use granite, but it's granite tier 6. Oh wait, these got refreshed now. Wait, that's nice. Alright, let me go grab these other ones then. He wants a shield, a Necromay, and an Arboray. Oh wait, my blue one went away though. Is it because I gained a level? I'm so confused. Well, I guess I don't need my blue one anymore. But I do have to go do all these other ones now. Alright, let's see if we can remember what all these are. The shield one's the easiest. It's just Death Stone. I wish they would give me multiple of the same one so I wouldn't have to keep going for every single different one. Let me grab the Death Stone, grab the shield. Make whatever shield we have here. Yep, that one. And Necromay. We can make the two-handed weapon, but I'm probably just making the throwy thing. So that just requires flint. And this required, I believe, pine pole and 3 flint. So I could do both of these off of flint then. So that should be everything else we need just off of flint. I just need to grab a few poles of, I believe, pine. Let me just double check before I get there. Stonemason, this is pine pole, right? View recipe, hickory pole. Alright, so I just need a few hickories and then everything else is just flint and we should be good to go. So we go over here, go to hickory, just grab whatever the default is. So we have more than one. Grab 6, sure. And then we grab every flint. And this should satisfy every single one we gotta go do right now. As one of them wants Necromay, which is this one right here. And then the pole we make at the one-hand station over there, and that should be everything we need then. And then we can do another 4 turn-in. Okay, so we only have one new guy here who we haven't seen. Where is this guy? This guy is in the Toad Room. That is really annoying. It's in the middle of nowhere compared to where all these other turn-ins are. I guess we'll do him first. It's weird. He's turned in for the least value. I guess because he's somewhat close to here. It's kind of like cooking bounties, where it's like the further away they are, the more value they give you. So because this guy is so close to the Stonemason area, he actually gives you really low value. Which is a little annoying though, because he's kind of in the middle of nowhere. You really got to go out of your way to go turn in on him. So it's a little bit weird that he's giving you such a low value for turning in on him. I guess it's because he's also asking for a low level thing though. He's asking only for a level 35, whereas the other one's like 36 or so. Which could be why. Did I see the weekly kill thing for the 320? Yeah, we mentioned the weekly video we covered a couple hours ago. But yeah, I did see it. We're messing around that on stream tonight. Probably going to be quite a bit of a longer Gems of War stream when we do it tonight. As I do need to make up for the rollback PvP points from last week. From the rollback that they did. Alright, that should be everything crafted. Alright, let's go turn in. So we already know where the other 3 are. This guy was in front of the kobolds. This guy was all the way in top right between the smithing place. And this guy was by the tower. And this is the only new one. And this guy is by the fire toads, which makes sense. He's a fire weapon, so he's by the fire toads. And then I believe we've seen every slime, and there's a few more that we haven't gotten for other stuff. I think that's almost all of them. We haven't gotten a task for blue yet, but we did see the blue slime. Not sure if there's any more that we haven't seen yet. Trying to think if there's any other category we haven't done. Alright, so this guy wants fire. So we'll give him his little thingy. He'll eat that. And then we teleport over and go turn in all the other ones. Yeah, they seem to be giving a little extra tip after. Like if you matched it or dialogue, I wonder if you can actually cancel that early. But if you actually just sit there through their dialogue, you get a little extra. It's a very small amount though. I wonder if they do that based on the rarity or something. Alright, what am I doing? I'm going to northeast. Because I gotta go to Chef, which should be all the way in top right. Yeah, I'm just making sure. Other guys by Kobold Arena, and then other ones by the Obelisk Tower. Depending where our knowledge is, we could actually use a 10% on the guy and turn in the other one as well. Which we might be able to turn in all three of these. You know what we're gonna see? We're gonna do this like you normally would for a cooking bounty, where you turn in a bunch in a row and try to get as many in within the time frame. So I'm gonna see if I can get all three of these within a 10% potion. I should be able to, so we're gonna try it here. Let's see. Yeah, the Mind to my Tubin has been getting a lot of updates recently. We're actually getting really close to maxing it. Let's see. Put that on there. But I might even consider maxing it soon. Especially if the 7-star quest is something insane for EP rates somehow. Alright, let me go teleport over to over there. Yeah, we should be able to bring in all these and then go use our knowledge point. And this next turn in, because it's higher rarity, should give me the knowledge I need by the time I turn in the other guy. Worst comes to worst, I could do some mining while I'm going around as well. We can grab the granite, we can grab the Adather or whatever it's called. Whatever the blue one is. The Flatniums, I mean. Alright, let me go turn in this guy's shield. And then we just gotta go get the other guy to hammer then. Yeah, we're getting really close to max Mind of Batubin. Like really, really close. We're pretty much tier 8 all. Or really close to tier 8 all. Alright, let me go mine a couple of these on our way over. Just to make sure we get enough knowledge points on our way there. As I do want to make sure we can cash that in by the time we turn this into him, ideally. Alright, let me grab these from there. I'm not sure if we're gonna make it. I'm not sure how much knowledge we're getting for our turn-in. They do seem like a little bit worse than the Kobold Arena turn-ins. Mostly because they're all over the place. So they definitely seem a little bit less value than everything smithing got. But they still are pretty good value for saving you money on Stonemason. They're definitely not as good as smithing bounties though. Mostly because the turn-in locations are just so spread. Alright, put that into smithing. Actually, I should probably be putting this into Stonemason. Since honestly, smithing is easier to get up than Stonemason is. So I'm going to start putting all of my knowledge point on the Stonemason then. Because now that we have the basic bounties for both, it is very clear that smithing is easier to train now than Stonemason. So Stonemason is now officially the hardest thing to train in all of Chapter 3. So we should actually be dumping our knowledge now onto Stonemason. Or then again, maybe not. The only reason I kind of want to rush smithing up, I'm getting really close to infinite bounties. And I really want those infinite bounties so we can unlock a bunch of the filtration stuff. So whenever we want to go and grind it, we can. So we don't have to worry about the hourlies and everything. So maybe I do still keep putting into smithing. At least still tier 8. But after tier 8, I think we start putting it like exclusively into Stonemason until it's max. Yeah, we don't know about Bonewright yet. The main thing that makes Bonewright easy is the passives are freer for Bonewright than any processing skill in the game. So worst comes to worst, even if Bonewright bounties aren't that good, like if they're about as average as Stonemason bounties are, the upside is you can simply just go and passive it all the way to max. You can't really do that with any other production skill in the game. It's currently the only production skill that actually profits on its way to max. Obviously, there's other skills that do, but in the production category, it's the only one that you profit on your way to max for. Even if you buy everything from the shop the entire time. Let's go check our smithing bounties. Because, of course, these are still a thing, and it makes sense to kind of do them all in the area. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you would do all 4 of these, just because everything in this chapter would be pretty good to go in bounty. Everything else not really worth doing a turn-in for, so I guess we're doing some filtration. So we're getting pretty close to max leveling all filtration. We're not quite there on absolutely everything, but most of them we are on max difficulty for now. Like for basic mode, of course, we're definitely on. Twin, I think we're almost there. I think we need like 10 more twins or something. But without having any of the golden bounties, we have almost gone and fully maxed out the difficulty on all of them. Just doing the hourly bounties over the last like 2 weeks since this update came out. Because it came out like, what, 12 days ago? Because it came out a little bit late. Because it came out Wednesday 2 weeks ago. So it was 12 days since smithing bounties. And since then, we have nearly maxed the difficulty on everything while only using the hourly bounties. That's not too bad. And of course, once we have the golden ones, it would be very free to go do it then. But let's go do the 2 filtrations we have. So we have a standard and we got twin. Twin is definitely the most annoying. Twin and the really quick gauge are probably the 2 hardest ones. But let's see what we get here. Okay, we got a switched path here. That's fine. That just means we need a thing in between. Then we just need to get the path over there. Okay, we should be fine then. So we put that over there, put that over there, put that over there, put that over there, put that over there. I need a vertical. I could just use the vertical we just grabbed, put that over there. I then need a right turn, put that over there. I then need a bottom left turn to start working that. We then need a lot of straights everywhere. So let me start gathering some of those straights, but also grab the other corner one. Again, move that straight over there, move that straight over there. Move that straight over there. Move that straight over there. That straight can go over there. And then I just need one more vertical, which, do we have a close one? Yeah, I'll just use that one over there. And then the only other thing I need is, what, bottom left? Or am I already doing that? No, I'm already doing that. Oh wait, I need bottom right for this one. And that should be everything then, unless I missed something. Oh wait, I did miss something. Wait. I missed bottom right for this one. Okay, now we can go speed it up. Okay, that should be everything. Oh wait. How did I miss this though? Wait, this one needs to be, that one needs to be up. Wait, hold up. I'm putting both of them into clean water. Hold up, wait, one mistake. That needs to go there. Alright, now we're good. To speed it up. Yeah, that was a little clunky, but we got there by the end. But yeah, twin is definitely the most annoying one. I don't think I have it at max difficulty yet either. We still need 14 more. We're almost there though. So what starts to get annoying is they start doing like these little turny ones that you basically have to use. Because sometimes you don't have enough pipes if you don't end up utilizing these. So how do I want to do this? We got to turn that. I then need to get bottom left, but then I also need bottom right immediately to be able to go and use that. Where is bottom right? So that would be what? This one? Yeah, because we need that there, that there. Wait, I need that twice. Where's the other one? Unless you... No. Oh, no. I can do... No, I can't. Yeah, that's so weird, because you gotta do this, then do, like, the double corner thingy. The problem is, where's the second corner? I want to figure out where the second corner is, because I'm gonna need it. Because I need it right there. The problem is, I cannot find it. Where is it? Am I that blind right now? Where's the second one of this? Unless you gotta do something weirder, but no, you'd have to start it from there. Oh, maybe you want to do the higher filtration first. Oh, I see. Wait. No, that's my problem right now. Because with the pieces we have, it's forcing you to have to do the higher filtration first. Which means you'd have to double crawl. Wow, this feels like the very hard one. Why is this one so much more convoluted? Because yeah, you gotta do the top one first. But then you have to cross through like 3 times. There's a lot of cross-throughs. That is so weird. Yeah, I guess we'll do it. This is probably going to be really clunky, though. But, yeah, we'll go do it real quick. Where's the top left? I need to go grab that real quick. Grab that. Grab the slower tube. Grab one more straight. Get the pause button, because I'm definitely going to need a pause here to figure out what's going on. Let me just go get the easy stuff done first. Let me go do this and figure out where the top right one is, and then move that over there, and then click stop so we can think for a second. Alright, what is every cross path we need? Because, gosh, do we need a ton of them. We need one there. I'm going to need another one here. So I can cross that one through. Is there any other cross I need? That one needs to be a vertical. So let me start putting some verticals here, because that goes there. That goes there. That goes there. That then becomes a flat. This needs to then become a vertical. I can then grab that from that vertical, which then goes there. I then need another vertical for there, which then gets curved with this, which we then curve this one over. What am I forgetting? I feel like I'm still forgetting something here. Then you curve this over. Then you grab a flat from here. Also, I love how much more difficult these actually get. These actually become quite a challenge at the higher difficulties. This isn't even max difficulty either. I think that's everything. We'll find out when this fails, but that should be everything. I feel like I'm forgetting something here, though. But that should be completed, I think. We'll find out when we fail in a second. But no, we should be fine. But yeah, it's not even max difficulty, which is scary. But, yeah, they really make you think. It's a fun minigame, though. And you just grab your granite before you go, just to use your double up. And then that is all the bounties we could do until the end of the hour. So we got a half an hour to go kill, I guess, on just production stuff. I just want to go do some forager with the forager gloves. But no, I'll save that for later. But yeah, let's go do Stonemason. Actually, I don't even need a bank here. We're going to Stonemason room. So let's go to Stonemason. Let's go and I guess start processing for some of our flint. Because one of our side goals this stream, I guess, is to technically go get level 13 Stonemason. So that we get to the next tier being Basalt. Just a fun little goal to go for. Set some kind of milestone that's obtainable realistically within the amount of time we have. So, yeah, we'll go for that. And of course, we'll do bounties where applicable. Though, unfortunately, we've depleted all bounties for now. But I do have a nice reserve of tier 7 flint, as my tier 7 did convert over. Or all the flint I had did convert over nicely. So, yeah, we'll start processing some of this then. I'll go do some of these. Go start making these into the balls. Unfortunately, they do require one more than before the milestone update. They now require 4 instead of 3. Stonemason got nerfed quite a bit in that regard, and Bone Right ended up getting buffed as far as production stuff, where Bone Right requires 1 less bone for everything, but Stonemason requires 1 more stone for basically everything. So, yeah, Stonemason, honestly, in the roughest location out of any of these 4. Out of any skill in Mines of Batubin, I would say Stonemason is actually the hardest to train now. Both because their bounties is one of the more annoying ones, but also because they end up nerfing how many of each supply you end up needing. So once I get milestone 8 for smithing and get the, you know, the gold melodies and everything, I think I'm going to start whenever I do put knowledge into this chapter, putting it all into Stonemason. But getting this to milestone 8 is a little bit more important for the shininess, though. Be able to get golden bounties or whatever they're called. Alright, we'll go process the whole inventory, start doing the flint thingies, and then go from there. But yeah, that's pretty much everything with the update then. You just get a bunch of tasks from a bunch of slimes, you gotta go feed them the correct ingredient, or, you know, something matching the color. You go bring it to them, and then it's kind of like cooking bounties from there. It's basically cooking bounties, but it's not telling you what the dish is. You gotta figure out what it is based on the color. But otherwise, it's basically just cooking bounties, but in Mines of Batubin instead of in Hopeport. But that is really good because all of these should break even and or profit, even the tier 1s. So they're kind of worth doing, even though you do have to do a bit of walking. And of course, you can be mining as you're going through as well. With where these slimes are located, they're going through basically every mining location in the entire game, with a few exceptions. So you can reach almost every mining spot. So if you just want to pick up some ore along the way, especially if it's one that you need at a given time, like if we have to cross by Flint would be really good because that's the one we actually need, would work out really, really well. As it does kind of bring you naturally across everything. Kind of like how the smithing bounties has made me get like 1 billion granite. Like, look how much granite I have. This is all from doing smithing bounties. Like, literally just from smithing bounties. I have gotten 533 granite tier 7. This is just from the filtration bounties. Like, literally just filtration bounties. I've gotten 533 granite. Just because I always double tap one of them and sometimes go for another. And then on my way out, I always double tap one and sometimes go for another. So like every time I get even 1 bounty for, I'm grabbing like 6 granite. And in doing that 1 billion times, we have gotten 533 granite just from doing smithing bounties. And stonemason bounties are kind of similar in that regard. And that if you just keep poking everything that you go by, you can get a lot of free ore just for traveling around doing the stonemason bounties. As every single one brings you either directly on one or near one. Like this one's a little bit too far out of the way to go grab the bean ore over there. But this one brings you literally into the andesite room, so you can grab 6 andesite going to turn in blue. Turning in impact, you can grab 3 flint. Turning in, I forget which one this is. I think it was yellow. Turning in yellow, you can grab 6 flint. Turning in, what's it called? This one's green. Turning in green, you can grab like 2 granite and 4 platinums. Maybe even another 4 if you grab the other ones. And if you go from the other angle, maybe even a bunch of carbonice as well, while grabbing the 6 platinum. So a lot of different options you can do for turning in that obelisk, depending on where you're coming from. You get nothing for turning in necrome, though you do get a bank. You get nothing for turning in the arena, though you're right next to Cobalt Arena for all the smithing turn-ins if you're doing them at the same time. And what other one is there? Is that it? Am I forgetting one? I feel like there's a slime I'm forgetting. What have I not turned in yet? Let me go double check the board. What are we missing? So impact, we know where that is. That's the guy in the mine cart. Def is the one by the mining location all the way in top right, the smithing location. Yellow is in that one dead end room by the flint. Shield guy is right next to Cobalt Arena. Blue is the one all the way by Andesite, all the way to the west. What is this, yellow again? I think this is yellow again, which is the guy by the flint. This is... yeah, I think that's every color then. Don't think I'm forgetting one. This is physical? Not sure what that is. But whatever it is, let's say it is physical. That one would have been the impact guy, which is the one by the mine cart. Yeah, so we've seen every single typing then. The fire guys by the fire toads, other fire ones by the fire toads. Yeah, we've seen every single typing, so we know where every slime is then. So the only rocks you don't get from doing Stonemason bounties then are the Dur beans, because it's 2 rooms away and it's not worth going out of your way for. The Adathril, because it's in the middle of nowhere, it's not near any of them, unless you're going really out of your way for it. Deathstone, which unfortunately is one of the things you need. I was really expecting there to be at least one slime over here, but no, none of the slimes are by the slime area, oddly enough, which is kind of weird. But Deathstone, you can't get through it, and technically Basalt you can't get. It's somewhat near it, but you don't actually have to cross through Basalt Room to get to the slimes. So I believe those are the only mining material you don't cross while doing Stonemason bounties. Everything else you can get for free while crossing through the floors. Like, you know, you can basically get, like, 0 tile them and everything else. Even iron ore you can grab some. I didn't actually mention it earlier, but iron ore you do when you go to these guys. Unless you're teleporting in from Chapter 2. But assuming you're not teleporting in from Chapter 2, if you're doing, like, a big chain reaction where you're turning in her and then him and everything, you would grab iron ore between. It's only 2, but, you know, it's more than nothing. Nice, we got a high rarity one. Save that for later. Go sell all these. And yeah, basically I gotta kill 30 minutes now. That's one thing that is a little bit unfortunate about all these new bounty systems. If you really want to go and focus on them, if you're not at a given level range, you kind of can't. Because obviously right now for launch day, it's like, oh yeah, let's go spam them. But you know, unless we were like tier 9 Stonemason, or I guess if we were tier lower, tier 6, we could have. But we're at a really bad location where we're not even like remotely close to be able to get to that point. At least for smithing that we should be able to get within the next week, we'll be able to go get the shiny bounties for them. Which will actually be the first new bounty system that I'm going to be shiny for as far as be able to spam them. Which is fun because then we could just do a billion filtration stations and just go through tier 8 doing only filtration station. And maybe like a few turn-ins just for the first time bonus and when they're higher rarity. But there's a good chance we would literally just filtration station and Cobalt Arena the entirety of tier 8. Like literally nothing but that. In all fairness, like I even did that for tier 7 too. Not counting knowledge points, or you know, it's just knowledge points and bounties is all I did. I did a little bit of iron ore processing, but very little. Kind of like right how I am right now for this, for the flint thingy. Also nice, we got a upgraded one. These are really good because of course, even though we are not a hammer mage, and even though they haven't added skill trees yet to be able to use off-profession gear, we do need tier 3 for other classes stuff in order to go make 4-star equipment. While 4-star equipment still, unfortunately, does not have special attacks, they will eventually, so it's good to have these stocked up. The only issue I'm starting to have, though, because they keep doing Chapter 3 bounty systems, especially once they add bone right bounties, I'm actually starting to run out of room. I think I only have like 20-something inventory left for tier 3 stuff. I am so close to the point where I have no spare inventory to hold these tier 3s. I'm not sure what we're going to do then. Maybe I'll start converting some of them into tier 4s and, you know, start using them for combat or something. Because I need to start clearing out my bank soon. I can only do this for like another 2-3 weeks until I have completely depleted all storable space as far as tier 3s that we would have gotten naturally throughout it. Without even trying to make any tier 3s, just the one while doing, you know, Stonemason bounties, smithing bounties, eventually bone right bounties. But just from doing those, we're about to overfill our bank in the next like 2 weeks or so. Especially now that we have to start throwing Stonemason bounties in the mix, which of course will keep giving us stuff like this that we got to keep banking. But the problem with that is I'm missing a lot of the bone right components. Because obviously we have all the smithing components. We're slowly starting to get more of the hammer mage components now. But the big issue is I'm still missing all of the bone right stuff. I guess one nice upside of that though is of course the bone zone. We were collecting a bunch of tier 8 stuff from Forager. I might even go over there a little bit more off stream as well. I haven't gone there since we got in Shark Jaw, but honestly, I might go back there. Not because Shark Jaw is good, but because I need all the other bones, so that we can kind of make everything we need to go upgrade our equipment in there. Because our biggest bottleneck right now for making 4-star equipment is definitely bone rate. And now that it made it easier as far as how many you need for everything, where everything requires 1 less bone, it's a lot easier to make most everything for bone rate. Some of them even require only 1 bone now, which is crazy good. Though some of them still require 1 billion carpentry supplies, though. They didn't actually reduce any of the carpentry supply requirements, unfortunately. They required all bone requirements by 1, but all carpentry requirements are still just as high, which is a little unfortunate for a lot of them. You just need a lot of carpentry junk for each one of them. Alright, so all that, store this. But yeah, let me go double check how much storage we have left. Let me check right now. I'll do the exact count on how many we have left. We got a lot of rapiers, a lot of other knick-knack stuff. Some stuff I could probably get rid of soon, though, that we don't really need. Though some of it I could probably upgrade soon, like this axe, into something better. Honestly, I could probably get rid of this. I was saving this in case I need, like, an off-damage type. But, yeah, I don't think we're really going to need it. Also, how did I get a 34 bow? Why did I need this? Was I going to turn that in for something? Because I really don't need that. Let me go sell that. I'm not sure why I'm keeping that there. This is for an upgrade if we want it, I guess. This was the first thing we got on day 1, so I'm keeping that forever. This shield's probably not worth upgrading, but I don't know, maybe we will. We already have the components for it, I guess. It's just we're not really using shields that often. So honestly, almost everything here could be sold because we're just very rarely using it. Same as this armor, because we're probably not going to be able to get an upgrade out of it in time for it to actually be relevant, just because we're mostly in full tier 4 right now anyways in that level range. The only way I'd be able to use that is if I get a Guardian upgrade. Like if I get a Guardian piece of armor that isn't a shield very soon, otherwise I wouldn't be able to. But anyways, how many spaces do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. I have 34 spaces left with 3-star equipment in. And then we have officially ran out of inventory space, which is not ideal. Oh, so am I going to do this just to process 1? I guess I am right about now, aren't I? It feels like such a waste, but I think I'm going to. Pour 1 gas getting wasted on 1. I just got to get all of them out because it's going to annoy me like crazy if I see 1 single flint in there. I got to process the very last one, even if we only have to do 1. So let me go process the last of this, and then all we have left are just straight flint then. Already processed, good to go. So we could train off of that while waiting for bounties, and then, you know, keep doing the bounties as we need them. And this next knowledge point, I guess I'll put into Stonemason just to expedite it a little bit. Because I do want to try to hit level 13 just so we get like 1 milestone completed of some kind. So we can get to basalt if we want to do that later. The only slight issue with that is I do need to buy the basalt. Then again, I can still mine it. It's just, it'd be really bad to do at this level range. It's one big issue that we had since the milestone update, the disparity between, you know, our mining level and the other two. But, I don't know, we'll fix that later down the line. Who knows? Woodcutting's going to be feeding into mining at some point, so I guess we'll see then exactly how we're going to go about mining then, as well as, you know, finishing out the rest of these. Because these should, by around that time, be almost tier 8, both for stonemason and for smithing. Smithing will definitely be tier 8 by then. Stonemason I'm not sure about, but smithing 100% would be. So, by then we can kind of figure out how we're going to tackle mining based on what the woodcutting buff is to it. As we're going to have the tier 5 buff, so we're going to have half the buffs of whatever they are. What is that going to do? We have no clue. But it's going to do something to mining to make it better. We just don't know exactly what yet. So I guess we'll kind of determine how we're going to align it by that point then. But we're getting really close to the point where I actually have to start doing mining. One thing I might even start throwing in, once we go get our very soon to be unlocked, hopefully over the next week or two, Max Forager. Once we go Max Forager and get the Venture slot and everything, I'm probably going to put the extra Venture slot onto mining. But he's actually really good XP at this level range because it's a tier 8 activity. Like right over there. I only did it once for the one-time bonus so far. But they made it a 23-hour venture now. I haven't actually done it a single time since it's been a 23-hour venture. But because it's a 23-hour venture, not only does it align with the other ventures that you would normally do, but it also is way better XP. Yeah, we'll probably just start throwing that in then. It does mean we'll have a small delay on when we can start doing the merchant ones, but that's fine. I don't think we're in like a rush to go get a bunch of grape and cinnamon sticks. Like we do need them, but we're not in like a time pressure to go like spam them out right now. There's something I plan to do a lot while I'm away though. Like while I'm away in Greece for like 3 months, I'm probably gonna do a lot of, once we have the 3 venture slots, I'm probably gonna do a lot of grape plus cinnamon stick. just so we can cover all of the alchemy grinds. Because unless something drastic changes alchemy, which I don't think it will at this point, but unless something drastic happens by September, I think by mid-September we'll be aligned to go do 500 alchemy. We won't be at 500 alchemy, but we'll be at a position where we won't burn our entire cash stack going for it. We might burn like 200 gold because we're keeping so many potions and everything. Like 150, 200 gold. But we will not burn our entire cash stack to get max alchemy. Who knows? Maybe by then we'll have alchemy bounties. We're also getting alchemy buff by then. Because by early May, like mid-May, we should know what the alchemy buff is. I'm not sure what they would do though. Maybe they'd make certain potions go quicker or something? I'm not sure. Like production time? Maybe a chance of saving resources? Because that would be huge for something like alchemy. Like if you had a chance to save the resources, rather than gaining like more XP or something, have like a % chance that you would save the resource, like 10%, 20%, something similar. That would be a little bit weird inventory management wise though, is the only problem with that. Unless the saved resources went straight to your bank instead of to your inventory. Because that's a mechanic that still isn't in this game yet that similar games have done. Just so you don't need as many supplies. Because it's definitely one of the most, if not the most supply-heavy skill in the entire game. Where you basically have to align all of your gameplay just to be able to train the skill. Cooking is very similar to that, but there's ways around it. There's not really as big of a way around it with alchemy, if you plan on keeping every potion. But you basically have to plan, like, your entire gameplay around, like, oh, how am I going to get max alchemy? Like, what paths am I going to do it? Am I going to do Forager, which you definitely should? Are we going to do any amount of Botanist? Are we just full skipping Botanist? Are we full skipping Mines of Matubin by not doing any combat there? You know, are you skipping the very good Venture stuff from Chronopolis? Like, you kind of have to figure out how you want to go about it. Like, what are you going to allocate towards it? And what are you going to skip? Or are you going to do all of them? Are you going to do Max Forager and Max Gather and all the other things before you even bother getting into it? Are you going to skip half? Or are you going to skip some? It's one of those that you kind of have to prepare, like, several different skills of resources for. It's not like something like smithing or any of these in Mines of Matubin, where at most, you know, you're kind of just feeding from two. Like, oh yeah, you need to go do woodcutting and carpenter to go get your, you know, carpentry supplies. You then have to go do mining, or in this case, forager, I mean, in order to go get your bone supplies, and you're good to go. But for something like alchemy, you gotta feed it with, like, several different skills. It's not just like, oh, go do, like, 2 or 3 skills and you're good to go. You can somewhat do it that way, but it's not gonna cover everything like it does with other skills. Because you can't depend on something like just Forge or 500 to go feed all of alchemy. It definitely helps, but it's not gonna cover all of it. Not without knowledge point bounties and other things offsetting it. So we're getting really close to our next double knowledge point. Ideally, I want to do that when we do our turn-ins, but turn-ins aren't for another like 15 minutes, so we're probably not going to be able to get them in around then. Also, we do have a build task right now for slings. I don't think they're worth doing, though. But I haven't made one yet, which kind of makes me almost want to go make one. Because I do have a task to go make them. The only problem is I would need tier 6 granite, but I guess I have some amount since I got the Great Hammer. So you know what, let's go make those real quick. I'm going to grab whatever one tells me to only make one. Because we're going to need it to get it for the first time bonus, so we might as well do it for first time bonus and do a task at the same time. It just makes sense. So yeah, I'll go make the one sling. Only one. Just because we get to double dip first time bonus and the bounty at the same time. But I believe it just requires like 4 or 5 granite or whatever it is. Why does a sling that's made of like fabric and everything require only granite? I do not know. But yeah, it does require only 6 granite, or sorry, 4 granite, I mean. So very easy to go make real quick. And I should already have the granite banked from when we went and made the Great Hammer earlier. For the other task we had to go do. This is currently the best yellow weapon we could be making for XP right now whenever it tells us to. Alright, so let me go grab the granite right now, then we'll go sell this inventory, grab the bounty for it. Get one more of those from the bounty board. And luckily, we don't even need to go anywhere because it's make only. So we don't even have to leave the establishment here to go and turn that in. Alright, you can go finish this already. You're almost there. Go, go, go. And then we'll go and check the thing. Oh, so hello, Empo. Welcome, welcome. Alright, let me go grab the... What am I looking for here? Granite. Give me the tier 6. Give me like 10, though I'm pretty sure I only need a few. And let me go grab the task. I don't know, are we going to do all of them right now? Is that worth it? I feel like that's not worth it. Yeah, let me just grab the one. I was going to grab the one sling for the first time bonus. which I believe is here. Oh no, it's two-handed range, which is right over here then. So we'll make that sling. And we get to double dip this for not only the bounty, which we don't even need to go turn in, but we also get the first time bonus. So we're only going to make the one since it's probably not worth making more than one, especially because we got to keep going back to the bank. And I need granite for the other task where we need to go make a yellow weapon. So we're just going to make the one for now. But we get to double dip it on first time and for the quick no turn in, just make bounty task thing. Which are kind of worth it if it's the thing that you're currently making, but otherwise not really worth it unless you're just turning in for first time bonus like that. But there we go. Alright, put away this and back to flint. I'll keep flinting until the bounties are ready then. As we do have a good handful of them ready to go. And once we get next to our knowledge point, I guess I'll put into Stonemason here. This will be like the one double knowledge point of the stream I'll put into Stonemason instead of smithing. Though most of my other knowledge points I have been putting into Forger lately. I really need to go grind that soon. I've been really busy for IRL stuff. As well as, one other thing, I'm not sure if I'm going to be streaming it or not. But starting this Thursday, there is hardcore bingo going on in Old School RuneScape for one of the bigger hardcore clans. And I will be participating in it. I'm just not sure if I'm going to stream it. I didn't stream it at all last time. And we won. Our team ended up winning of the 3 teams, which had the 3rd highest contribution as well. So I'm not sure if I'm going to stream some of it, none of it, all of it, or how we're doing it. But it's going to take up a lot of my next week, pretty much all the way until Easter. And then Easter's going to take up the time after that. So realistically, as far as time I have to go grind out Forager, I probably honestly won't get it until about the week after Easter. Because that's the next time I have that I can allocate to grinding Brighter Shores properly. So obviously passes will get us pretty far there. We are at, luckily, if nothing else, it is really good to be doing passives at this level range. But passives alone will not get us all the way there. We do have to like actually manually grind some. Not to mention, obviously, we got to go do all the stone and all the jade so we can actually build the monument. But yeah, that will likely be done the week after Easter. I might even do it along with the Easter event, assuming, you know, Easter event has some kind of synergy or something. We don't currently know what the Easter event's going to be. But that following week, maybe we'll grind the Easter event plus Forager at the same time. Because that might be my game plan then. And then that's when we'll be able to go and max out Forager, get our venture slot, but also, you know, grind out whatever's in the Easter event. Not only all the cosmetics, but also maybe leaderboard we'll go for a little bit. Depends what skill it goes into. Because I'm hoping that it feeds into Gatherer. I'm really hoping it feeds to Gatherer. Gatherer is my lowest level skill. And if it is, I'm going to do it all the way to tier 5. If the Easter event is a botanist world event, I am getting tier 5 botanist off of it. Might even go higher than that, honestly. I might even go all the way to max. Because, gosh, that skill's so bad right now. Obviously, it'll be fixed in the future. But the rework they did to it, while more fun, is really bad from a training perspective compared to a lot of other skills right now. It really needs bounties. It really needs, like, it's basically everything up here before it'll really be good again. But if they do a world event for it via, you know, like an Easter event, then, you know, that would actually be worth doing. So we'll consider that then. But we don't currently know. We don't even know if it's going to be set up like how the Christmas one was. Like, will it be a world event? Will it be something else? Or is it going to have to find a bunch of eggs again? Who knows? But we'll find out in like 3 weeks from now. I believe it's 3 Mondays from now. Whatever the patch thingy ends up saying. Or is it 4 weeks from now? Whatever it is. Whatever week Easter is. Wait, is it 2 weeks from now? It's actually pretty soon if so. Yeah, I think that's the big content update for 2 weeks from now. Because 2 weeks ago was smithing and filtration station. This week was Stonemason, and then 2 weeks from now for the big update is what you call it? I believe the Easter event. All right, after this set, let's see, 3, 6, 9. Why am I counting it that way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18. Yeah, next inventory after this one, we got to use the 10% for when we get nearer then. Unfortunately, it's not going to align perfectly with the bounty tasks, but that's fine. The bounties are still going to be like 10 minutes off. Hello, Jets! Welcome, welcome, all and well. Hope you're having a wonderful week so far. I just realized it's Monday today. It does not feel like a Monday. One other thing making it not feel like a Monday is Brighter Shores actually updated on a Monday for once. All of their Mondays updates have been on Tuesday and Wednesday lately. It feels weird that the Monday update's on Monday. That's like unheard of the last month. I think this is the first Monday update in the last month that's been on Monday. Because the other ones kept getting delayed for some reason. Though in all fairness, the smithing one made sense. Because that was probably one of the most convoluted things they've added since, like, launch. The filtration station system. So it makes sense that that one got delayed a little bit for bug fixes and stuff like that. But, I don't know. I'm not sure why Forger gloves got delayed a day. Like, that one definitely felt like one that didn't need to get delayed. But somehow still got delayed by, like, a day or two, whatever it was. Because that was a pretty basic update as far as what it did. Also, the gloves aren't really that strong, though I do like their appearance now that you could wear them as of today. I love that it just matches perfectly with the leather that's already on our armor. I'm hoping it does the same when it's at max tier as well. We'll find out if we ever get 30 more combat levels, which is something I need to go start AFKing soon as well. I was like, maybe I'll go do that soon, because I gotta go prep some stuff for the bingo event for the hardcore bingo for Old School RuneScape. So I might go AFK combat in both games at the same time. Just gotta make sure the hardcore doesn't die while I do it. I'll probably AFK Frost Dragons and Old School RuneScape while AFKing whatever our main one is right now, which I think is Defcur right now. Soon to be eventually Goblin Chiefs. I just use Aggression Potion to AFK them because I really need to get 30 more combat levels soon. I want to go get the max visual tier of armor. The other reason I want it is we're still getting really close to a goal that we set out to do about a year ago, which is to get to level 250 all. And the only thing I still got to do to get to 250 all is 30 more combat levels, because that's the equivalent of 250 all. 2 more chef levels, which is free. That's like literally like, what, 2 hours of chef, not even. And 23 botanist levels, which I'm hoping, fingers crossed, the Easter event is botanist related for some reason. I'm really hoping it's like a botanist world event or something. Otherwise, that's probably not happening. we'll ignore botanist if that's not the case. But I'm really hoping Easter event is botanist because that would align perfectly with everything I need to do in the near future there. And then would be level 250 all by like mid-April then. Including combat. Which is technically level 1000 since it's 4 different skills combined. But yeah, we set that goal back in like February or like March of last year. I still have not done it yet. It takes that long. Though in all fairness, we did a lot of other skills way higher, of course. But I still never did finish the 250 all, which is of course technically halfway to max, though technically not halfway to max. As far as total amount of time needed to grind, it's obviously not halfway. But numerically it is, close enough. But yeah, at that point we'll be quote-unquote halfway to max. We'll be slightly more, but also slightly less. Also, we still don't have a single max skill yet, by the way. Forager will be our first one, likely the week after Easter with current schedule at this point. Is likely when we'll end up having that ultimately. Alright, let's go drink our XP pot. Unfortunately, with how the XP pot work, we'll only be able to go and make 3 of these with it, but that's fine. We're also like 7 minutes off on the bounties, which is a little bit unfortunate on alignment there, but that's fine. And I will be putting these into Stonemason as one tertiary goal of the stream is I do want to get to level 13 so that we hit at least 1 milestone related to Stonemason today, given that it is bounty day release for them. One thing we can also do with this is it re-rolls the board. Whenever you get a new bounty task for the board, it will end up re-rolling it. This is applicable to every bounty system in the game. So if I, for example, take 2 bounties and leave the other 4 on the board, and I go and get to a new activity, being, you know, this basalt and stone disc thing, the 4 that are on the board are going to get re-rolled. It will re-roll so it can also include the new one, but it can also re-roll into something else that is already good. I believe it even re-rolls rarity, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So we could even get one that we already had there, but it could be a higher rarity. So we're basically going to use that to re-roll the board once at some point later this stream. And then we'll end on doing whatever we get from the re-roll task then. But yeah, I want to get at least 1 re-roll on the board there. You don't get that many re-rolls as you go through, but yeah, you do get 1 re-roll every single time that you gain a level. Or, you know, once you get to a new activity. I put that into Stonemason as well. And now it looks like this inventory will pretty much get us a level. We can now hover over to see how much XP we need as well from the update a couple weeks ago. So we know we need 271,000. And how much are we getting each? We're getting, where's the thing? How much are we getting per thingy? So we're getting, that doesn't tell me. We are getting 40,000 each. Not counting any potions we'd have active, though for most of these we're not. So let's just call it 40k. So that means, yeah, 1 more inventory will definitely get us there then. Because we're making 6 per inventory. That's 240k. So next inventory will 100% get us there then. And then it should be bounty time. Then we go do Stonemason bounties, go do smithing bounties, then come back to go and poke the rest of the level. And then from there, yeah, we should be able to get one more set of bounties all the way at the end, probably then. And worst comes to worst, we just did a reroll at the end as well. Perfect. Alright, game plan established. Alright, so yeah, we just need to go sell all that, do the next set, and then bounty should be ready. As each one of these takes 30 seconds, or 6 per inventory, that's 3 minutes. And it's pretty much almost perfectly aligned with when that bounty board should refresh right over there. And hopefully we get some stuff that's actually worth doing. Also, we haven't seen anything above a 2-star task yet, so hopefully we see some of the bigger ones as well. I don't think any of them change how you have to do anything, though. Unlike fishing and like a few other ones like that. But, you know, getting a 3x, 4x bonus is still better than not getting one. Even just 2x is good. Because you have to keep in mind, it's also multiplying... It's not just your XP and gold, it's also multiplying how much knowledge you get. It's something that's not actually shown on any bounty tasks in the current state of the game. Not sure if they're going to change that in the future. But it doesn't show how much knowledge you get from them. But you are getting a knowledge bonus for every single task you do. Which is one thing that's actually pretty underrated about even the 1-star tasks to some degree. Is you're still increasing your knowledge rate per hour by doing 1-star tasks. Even if it's only like a make-only 1-star task, you're still getting more knowledge per hour from taking those tasks than you would be if you were taking none at all. So aside from the extra XP and gold, you do have to factor in the extra knowledge as well, which is nice. Which is really good for some of the production skills in this chapter because they have some of the worst knowledge rate in the entire game. But combining them with the bounties, they're actually really good knowledge rate. And a lot of skills are like that. Or they might be rather average. Like, let's say, for example, Carpenter is pretty bad for knowledge rate. However, Carpenter with Carpenter bounties, whenever they eventually come out, you know, that's actually probably not bad for overall knowledge per hour, as long as you're doing them via bounties when you're doing them. Which, unfortunately, you can't really spam unless you have golden bounties. Though, at Tier 5, we would. If they come out with Carpenter bounties soon, we're actually at the perfect level range for it. Ooh, even more of a reason to ignore carpentry. Actually, there's a lot of things in Chapter 2 that's making it really worthwhile ignoring them. Except for woodcutting. Woodcutting actually do need to go to Tier 6. But currently, my Tier 4 Botanist and my Tier 5 Carpenter are both at the golden bounties right now if they were to exist within the next, you know, eventually. The only one that isn't is woodcutting. But all we'd have to do is get to next tier and would be there as well. Is this something I haven't gotten to do with any of these new bounty systems yet? I keep getting really unlucky and not getting golden for them. Like fishing, we didn't have golden. Smithing, we didn't have golden, though we're getting it soon. Stonemason, we didn't have golden and won't until basically we're almost maxed. What other ones came out? Is that all of them? Yeah, it was all the new ones so far. Just fishing, smithing, and stonemason. Which reminds me, do we not even know what the next bounty set is? I don't think we do. But yeah, I don't think we actually know what the next set of bounties are. We know that they're working on Bonerite quite a bit, so maybe it's going to be Bonerite, in which case... Oh, we are golden on Bonerite. That'd be nice. That'd be the first one that we might get immediate golden on then when they come out. Because, yeah, it is there right now. Because we do know that they're working on it. We just don't know how close it is. Like, we don't know if it's like a month from now or like 3 to 4 months from now. But it seems like they're progressed enough on it that it should probably be within the next 2 months we should be getting, Bonerite bounties. It makes sense because they're kind of doing all of this chapter. Although I guess they would still have to do mining at some point too. Because we're definitely getting Bonerite bounties before we're getting mining bounties, almost guaranteed. Just because they've actually developed it already, whereas they haven't started, I don't believe, on mining yet. Though, similar to most gathering skills, mining bounties won't be that worth it. Pretty much only production skills really care about it. So the main skills that would really care about bounties that don't currently have it are Alchemy, Carpenter, Bonerite, and Leatherworker. I guess maybe Combat, depending on how you look at it. Probably not needed, though. But those are the main ones that don't have it that would want it a lot. Alchemy, Carpenter, Bonerite, and Leatherworker are the main skills without bounties that would benefit a ton from getting bounties. Because most gathering skills don't really benefit from it at all. It's one of the reasons why fishing bounties are so bad. Because you want to be keeping all your fish, you don't want to be turning them in for bounties, so they're kind of counterproductive. Whereas for production skills, it doesn't really matter if you're turning them in. Except for maybe alchemy, where it kind of matters a lot if you're turning in your potions. That might be one of the weird in-between ones. Just because there's so many potions that are good here that you might not want to turn in. So we'll see exactly how that works once that comes out. There's this one that's in the weird in-between where you gotta sacrifice your good potions in order to get good XP rate. Which I'm not sure if that's worth it. I guess it technically is. It really just depends how easy they are to turn in, I guess. Because if they're similar to cooking bounties where you gotta go all around the town to go turn them in, they might not be worth it. But if there's something like go make it at some place and just go turn them in at some other place, kind of like how Cobalt Arena is, then it wouldn't be that bad at all then. Like if you had to go make them and then turn them into like the medical station or something. Because that would be great if that was all alchemy bounties were from at least an XP perspective. if all you had to do was make them here, and they'll go turn them in at the infirmary or something. Or something similar like that. Or if they made them all in like a general area. Like you make them at the station there, but then you just have to turn them in based on what kind of potion they are. Like if they're a healing potion, you turn them into infirmary. If it's a combat potion, you turn it to one of the training guards, you know, stuff like that. Like if they kept all of the turn-ins in this like square over here, it'd be fine. But if you had to do one over here, and then one over here, and then one, you know, over here somewhere to some weird NPC, it's going to be really bad for alchemy bounties. To the point that it might not even be worth turning them in. Unless it's like a 2-star or higher one, or, you know, higher rarity one. But there's a good chance if you have to walk all over the town to go turn them in, it's not worth doing 1-star alchemy bounties. I also feel like Stonemason 1-star bounties aren't that worth it, just because of how far you have to keep running everywhere as well. It's one slight issue that a couple of them have, and that if the bounty turn-in is a little bit too annoying, kind of like how cooking bounties somewhat are, compared to like the average bounty system, it's just not worth really doing them. At least at 1-star. Even if it ends up breaking even for the skill, you just have so much walking downtime that you're just doing nothing that's just wasted value. That otherwise could be used on, you know, other stuff. Like getting XP. Alright, but how many we need to go make? After we go clear out all the bounties, it looks like we'd have to make about 100 of these. I do have that many banked if we need to. Though ideally, I'm not going to make all those right now, so let's see how much the bounties end up ultimately covering. Because at this point, 2 more sets of bounties and we should be good to go. Also, hello, Brighter Shore Central. Welcome, welcome. You think a new banner room exists in Chronopolis? Does it? I thought that was coming at a later point. But yeah, you will eventually be able to make banners. I guess clan banners, maybe something else. It's where you bank the hides. Where is it? Is it? I don't see it here. Chef. Not accessible yet. Where is it, though? Oh, you mean where you bank the hides in the other location. But I don't see it there either, unless you mean this one. Yeah, that's been there for a while. It's been there for about a month now, I think. I thought it was maybe going to be for the new quest, but it could be for banner making. If it's anything like his last game, banner making, you'll be able to go make a bunch of different designs for a bunch of stuff in the game. As well as probably clan banners, if clan system were to exist by then. But yeah, that room's been there for about a month. And I assumed it was for the 4-star quest that's coming to the chapter. But we don't know until the room gets opened up. But we don't really know what banners are for other than just like a cosmetic thing. He did have them in the other game as well, though. Or, you know, Old School RuneScape has a banner system. I assume he's doing it pretty similar to that. It's just like a fun little cosmetic thing you can have. It's likely not going to be a primary training method. But it gives the leatherworker a little bit more benefit. Kind of like how you can wear the gloves. I am wearing the new leatherworker gloves. I'm wearing the tier 1 ones, but they match perfectly with the cryonite armor. It like matches perfectly with the leather that's already on it. So yeah, I'm rocking tier 1 leatherworker gloves. Just because they match perfectly with cryonite armor's leather coloring. Like it's the exact same colored leather. But how many different colors they have? I assume they have a leather to match literally all armor. It's like the Hammer Mage armor probably has the exact matching one and everything too. But yeah, the tier 1 leatherworker gloves matches cryonite armor exactly. Like that little bit of leather that's like right there on the arm matches the leatherworker tier 0 glove or 1 glove, whatever that's called. I think it's tier 0. So whatever the first one is. We're rocking that one right there. So yeah, I think that's the tier 0 gloves, I'm pretty sure. Like the one you get at like literally level 26 leatherworker or something. But hey, they match perfectly. Hope you can make custom banners. That would be kind of funny. Kind of like Animal Crossing. Where they've always had a mechanic since the very first Animal Crossing game where you can make a pattern for it. And then they had a hub where you can go and share them all with other people. But I love doing that in the original Animal Crossing. I did that a little bit in New Horizons as well. But that would be fun if you could make your own custom banner design with the little pixel system thing. I'm not sure if they're going to go that far with it, but that'd be really cool if you could. Though, regulating that in a MMO might be a little hard to do. Because obviously some people will make designs that are probably very bannable. Because I'm not sure if they would want to have to regulate that. Like, it would be fun, but it's probably a bad idea to do it for an MMO. Like, it's time that they'd have to regulate it instead of, you know, working on actual other content. But at this point, I've pretty much just been grinding whatever new thing comes out at this point. Like, right now, we're still trying to get our smithing and stonemason up because there's been the new bounty systems. I'd probably get mining up a little bit once it gets the 2 buffs that are coming soon. The one that feeds into Leatherworker as well as the one that feeds into the other thing. Actually, if anything, that's more of a reason to go get Merchant up soon. So that when we get the quicker processing for Leatherworker, we'll be able to go and have the Merchant level to go with it. I currently do, but right now I have like a very little disparity between them. But I really need to start working Merchant up to bare minimum 25 so we can start taking Grape and Cinnamon Stick once we go get our 3rd Venture slot. But beyond that, I also need to be doing it so we can start getting a Leatherworker higher. Not because I need better Forager Gloves, but because I need... Actually, what would I be doing that for? Wait. Actually, no, I'll think about it. I'm mostly just doing it because of Merchant. I actually don't need Leatherworker to be higher. If anything, I need Mining to be higher first. Because it would technically make sense to max Mining before doing any more Leatherworker with the change that they're going to be making soon. Because I also need Mining for these other 2 skills that are going to be going up. So never mind, it's actually Mining I need to be working on. And eventually Woodcutting is going to be feeding into Miner. So if anything, I should be working on 6 more Merchant levels. And then like 38 more Woodcutting levels. So I could feed into Mining and go get max Mining to go get max Mines of Bitumen or something. It's probably a better route for me to go do right now. Based on the upcoming updates that are very soon. Based on what we need. Because Merchant, I'm going to need the second we end up getting Forager to max Monument. Which we're getting really close to. Also, I just realized it's been the new bounties for like 5 minutes now. I should probably go get them. I've even noticed all the people going to the bounty board. And of course, that also means we gotta go do smithing bounties. I am gonna dump all the knowledge into Stonemason though. Because we're not ending stream until we get level 13. We gotta get at least 1 milestone completed. So we're gonna go and get, or you know, 1 achievement completed. So we're gonna go get the basalt access. Which also allows us to start buying basalt if we want to stock up on some early. Alright, so what do we need here? Okay, we got 4 turn-ins. Nice. We got Fire Shield. Oh, we haven't had to do a blue one yet. This is actually our first blue turn-in. We saw her earlier, but we didn't actually need to do her for anything. So this will be the first time that we need to do that then. So what's on our table right now? Tempest Stay, I need U-Pole and Granite. Shield, we just need Deathstone. Infernae, I need Granite as well. So let me do both the Granites together then. Because both the Tempest Stay and the Infernae, I need Granite for. One with a Suave Pole, the other one with U-Pole. So I'll grab all the carpentry supplies initially and just go do those 2. This should just require the tier 6 basalt, which we did grab some earlier. I might need to go process it though. And this one's just the Deathstone shield. And then we're good to go. And then we'll go turn in all 4 of these. We turn this one first because it's all the way in bottom left. Or no, we have to turn this in because it's in the fire area. Then we go turn this one in because we then have to go top left from there. We then turn this one in because we then go northeast from there. And then we teleport to go turn this one in. But while I'm doing so, I should probably go check my smithing bounties because I can go do my smithing bounty turn-ins at the same time that I turn in on this guy. So I could do these 3 and then do synergy on this guy. So I might want to go check my smithing bounties on my way out of this room with the 4 items we need. As I can then check to see if we need to turn in anything relevant at Cobalt Arena. So I can turn in both the shield and all Cobalt Arena stuff at the same time. Wait, this guy's a really good task. Even though it requires Deathstone, which is an untradeable resource, or not untradeable, but unbuyable from shop. You get to turn it in at the same time you get to turn in everything for smithing, which gives it really good synergy. Because everything else you'd have to go out of your way for. This is the only one that you could like 0 time while doing smithing. Whenever you get to the Arturio guy, whenever he wants a shield. So shield task is probably the best task for all of Stonemason, oddly enough. Just because it's extremely direct synergy with smithing. Alright, this will be the last one of these we need to go make for now, and then we'll go do all 4 of these. And then we'll go double check our smithing bounty, see if we can get synergy on this guy, and then go do anything applicable for that. And then we'll go do filtration while we're in the area. Alright, sell items. And let me go grab everything I need. I need a swave, and I need a, oh good, we just got a 4-star at the end there. Or 3-star, I mean. I go bank that. That'll be a 4-star weapon eventually. And luckily you can use the range ones on melee weapons as well. Alright, what am I looking for here? The only one you can't do is you can't use shields as armor. But you're allowed to use range weapons as melee, melee as range. They're not actually separated currently. Alright, what am I in here for? I'm in here for tier 6 granite. Oh, I'm running low. I'm running really low on tier 6 granite. There should be enough for my task though. And I needed what? A U pole and the other thing then. Because I need you and fire. So we need you. And we need fire, which is this one. Alright, that should be everything we need. They're both made at the 2-hand station. Now we just gotta make the shield and the cryone. I believe we need to go process the cryone though. I think we processed them when we bought them earlier. We bought some right at the beginning of the stream, and I don't think I actually processed any yet. I actually accidentally bought them. I meant to buy tier 7, but did not realize we're 1 level away from it, or technically 2 at the time. It's one of the reasons why we're trying to get that level, so you can make the higher tier of that one. Because that's one of the ones that's at like the weirdest angle right now. You can kind of see how low of a level it is compared to some of the other ones. But it's mostly because it's working on such a low level tool that we have to go make, unfortunately. Alright, so we got that. Now let's go make the, wait, what am I missing? Oh, it's over here? No, what am I missing? One-handed. Where's the fire weapon? Where's the fire pole? Am I going crazy? 2-handed melee workbench. Wait, does it not use granite? Oh, it uses andesite, I think. Oh, that's why it's not popping up. I was gonna say, it's because I don't have, that. Alright, let me go try this then. Round 2! There it is, I forgot. It doesn't use granite, it uses the other one. Whoops. Alright, the shield and then the cryone. The cryone one, I do need to go process the ore though. Or the stone, I mean. And shield, I should already hopefully have some death stone already processed. Hello, Jeffrey! Welcome, welcome, all balls been well. Hey, British Shore Central, I did see your most recent video, by the way. I haven't commented on it yet, though. But I did end up watching it. I don't know, I'm honestly perfectly fine with the pacing that's been going on. I feel like at one point it was kind of like, oh, they are kind of going a little bit slow, but I don't know. But how they're going recently, I feel like they've been going pretty nicely on pacing lately. Like the fact that they've actually been doing like an update every week and everything. It's been very nice. It might not be exactly what everything wants, but you know, they're getting there eventually. So he's trying to get the core of the game out there before everything else. What are we doing? Basalt. Tier 6. Okay, yeah, I do need to go process some of this. So I'm gonna go process this real quick. I'll just do 2 sets of them. That should be enough. In case we get a high rarity one. Because obviously I want to turn in the lowest rarity one. And then I just gotta go make the shield, which I hopefully have enough Deathstone already processed. I have plenty in the bank. I'm just not sure if I processed enough yet for the shield. If not, we'll go do 2 sets like this again. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. There's been very little Brighter Shores content being posted lately by people. Like, Valerie's kind of, like, fallen off of the earth recently. I'm not sure if she's still active on Discord or everything, because I never check Discord. But, she hasn't posted a video since the last leak she ended up doing. I'm actually kind of surprised she hasn't been doing videos on, like, some of the newer stuff. Because ever since she stopped doing the leaks, I don't think she posted a single video yet. On, like, any of the new bounties or any of the anythings. Alright, let's go put this over here. I just need to go for 1 or multiple of these if we get lucky / unlucky. Because if I get anything above a 1 star, I do need to make another one. Which is lucky because it sells better, but it's unlucky because I need to go turn in a cheaper one for the assignment thing. So I've never actually tried doing that yet to see what would happen. If you tried turning in like a 2 star or 3 star instead of a 1 star. I'm not sure if it gives you better value or what it does. But I've always just been doing the 1 star, just selling out everything else. How are the bounties? Stonemason bounties are kind of average. They're nowhere near as good as smithing bounties, both from a fun perspective and from an XP perspective. They're very similar to cooking bounties, except they're a little bit more ambiguous with what you have to make. You kind of just need to know how the skill works and, you know, build the right item. That's like their main, like, different mechanic. But, yeah, it has one of the biggest issues that cooking bounties has. In that, you gotta walk around, like, literally everywhere to go turn them in. The only thing that's nice about them, though, compared to cooking bounties, is, I just realized your shield's too low of a level. I need tier 7. But the main thing that is good about them compared to cooking bounties is they're always the same turn-in location. So you always know based on what it is where you have to go turn it in at, which is nice. But it does have the biggest same issue as cooking bounties in that you just got to turn them in all over the place, which makes their overall XP rate quite a bit worse. But it does seem to be like smithing in that if you buy all the supplies, you basically break even. So it does gain that kind of benefit from smithing bounties. There's a lot more annoying to turn in the smithing bounties, though. Though at this point, we have learned where all of them are on the map, which is nice. Alright, we'll go and get that for synergy in a second. Is that everything? Alright, so now that we got everything, let's go check our smithing bounties, because this guy we could turn in all the way last. And we can go turn in all of our smithing bounties while doing him. So let me go put them all the way down there. And now let's go grab whatever smithing bounties we need, because I got to go over here anyways to go head over to the fire guy. So we'll go to fire guy, then to blue. Why don't you put them in order just so we remember. And then go to yellow, and then go turn in the other guy last. Good, I need to go over there anyways. So perfect, we actually get the perfect synergy here. And I'll grab the other thing while I'm over there, and I'll skip the knife because it's not worth doing. Okay, so now I can go make this. So this will be the first time we can ever get the synergy, because shield guy is turned in at the same location as kobold, basically. So whenever we get a task like this, we can just do both at the same time. Oops, what am I doing? I need platinums. So let me just grab Max real quick. I'm going to go make one or a couple of these until we get the correct sword. And then what we can end up doing is turn in the fire, turn in the blue, turn in the yellow, teleport over, turn in the shield, turn in the sword, and there we go. We just turned in both of them at the same time then. And we can get our synergy that way. That's one nice thing Stonemason bounties do have, though. Even though they're all over the place, I do like this guy. Shield task is really good. Alright, perfect. We got it on first roll. And now let's go do everything we just said. And I won't use the 10% quite yet, because I kind of want to wait until we're closer on meter. I'm not sure if we're going to get all the way. Maybe I could do filtration and then go turn in the other guy. I don't know, we'll find out once we get there. But regardless, we're turning in both of these at the same time. So both this Stonemason bounty and this smithing bounty will get turned in at the same time then. We'll go give this guy this fire thingy. Here you go. Use item. Have your fire weapon. But at this point, I pretty much memorized where every slime is. There we go. Alright. Save for later. But yeah, fire guy's over here. Blue lady thing is over there. Impact guy is over there. Yellow guy's over there. Green guy's in the obelisk room over there. Shield guy's over there. And Necromay's in the little room right in front of the other quest that's coming out in a couple weeks. Alright, what are we turning in now? Blue. So that one is all the way over here. Also, we can grab some andesite while we're here as well. Might as well. Grab a couple of you. Grab a couple of you. Gonna need it for some of our bounties later. I'm not sure I'm gonna try banked. But we will need that at some point. Turn that into her. You want blue. There's one nice thing about these compared to cooking bounties. They always want the same item. It's not like cooking bounties where you can go to the same person who wants like literally every dish in the entire game. Alright, now we gotta go turn in the yellow guy. I'll ignore the iron ore, though. But I will grab the flint, as I don't even think I've taken the first time bonus on this flint yet, oddly enough. You know what? I'm actually going to use a 10% here. I think we can go and get these all in at the same time. Let's see. Not sure if we're going to get enough meter, but we're sure going to try. So I'm going to drink a 10% here. Throw that into Stonemason. I'm going to take this, that. First time bonus there as well. I'm going to grab those 3 flint as well. We then turn in yellow. I then teleport to go turn in these 2. And then, hopefully, fingers crossed, we have a full meter by then. I'm not sure if that's enough, but we're sure going to try. It might not be, though. Also, I would love if this thing went off a cooldown, like, at perfect timing. It is perfect. So we'll grab double flint here. It's also the highest thing we can currently mine. We then turn in the yellow weapon to this guy. We then teleport over, turn in shield, and then go turn in the other thing to him. So how much are we getting here, knowledge-wise? So this is a 1-star. How much knowledge are we getting for it? 9%. That's not amazing. That's about as much as you would get for a merchant bounty, roughly. Like, that's about a merchant bounty turn-in. Yeah, I think we're going to be a little bit short on knowledge points. That's unfortunate. That's fine. And then, of course, while we're here, we go do our 2 filtrations as well, since we're already going to be in the area. And then I guess we'll just go back to training Stonemason normally then, because that should be every task completed. Then we go turn in shield on this guy. Though the only problem is, since I took so long grabbing all those mining things, I don't think I'm going to be able to turn in the cobalt in time. Quick, gotta speedrun finding Derek. Quick, Derek, take this weapon. Go, Derek, go. Go fight the slime and or toad. Quick, 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 where is it? That one. Go kill the toad. Quick, 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 kill him. Kill him in 15 seconds, go. You're on a timer. Go, go, go. I know that's a 5-tick weapon, but you can go a little bit quicker than that. Go, go, go. Luckily they attack the same speed regardless of the weapon. Alright, mash click, go, go, go. We got 7 seconds. Get ready, go, 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 go. No, he's taking too long, cutscene, no! We're not gonna make it in time. Rip. Rip 10%, no! We're like a few ticks off. That's fine though. Also, we're still 17% knowledge off, but that's fine. Alright, let's go and do our 2 filtrations while we're in the area. Hey, it's a level 3 bot. Alright, let's go and grab our granites. Add to our 500-something granites that we've gotten exclusively just from doing filtration station. So we'll grab this, we'll grab that, grab that, grab that, grab that. And one nice thing about doing Stonemason bounties right now is since we're going back to Stonemason, I don't actually even need to go to a bank. I can just put this back into Stonemason once we get there. So we don't even need to go out of our way at all when we go bank there. Because I can just bank at the location. Let me take a basic and let me get a generator. Basic is definitely max. Generator? I can't remember if we maxed yet or not. I guess we'll find out in a second. Let's see what we get here for the puzzles. Alright, give me the very hard. This one doesn't look very hard. This one looks very straightforward. We'll put that there, we'll put that there, we'll put that there, we'll put that there, we'll put that there. I need bottom left, bottom left, bottom left goes there. I need another bottom left goes there. Where's the splitter going? Splitter goes right over there. Where's my other splitter? I'm gonna have it in hand. So I can put the splitter right over there. I then just need a top left to put that over there. I then need a flat, but I need a flat that's not that flat. So we'll put that flat over there. I can then use the vertical from that to go over there. Let's just realize I'm putting that in the wrong location. That needs to be over there. Is that one already finished then? Yeah, so I just need a top left and then we speed it up. Is that everything? That should be everything speeded up then. And that should be basic completed. There we go. Alright, now let's go get the generator one. Sometimes the generator is really annoying. Sometimes it gives you like the freest generator ever. Let's see what we get this time. Alright, what do we have here? Okay, yeah, I still need 6 more before we can get it. Alright, this is a very exceedingly free generator. I'm not sure why it does this sometimes. Sometimes you'll get like the hardest layout you'll ever see. And in other times the layout is this. It's really weird how big of a disparity there is sometimes on the same difficulty range. Alright, so that goes there, that goes there. What am I forgetting? And then I just need the corner one. Where's the corner one? We put that over there. That then goes over there because I need that to cross. That needs to go over there because I need to go in. That goes over there, but then I need a flat. And then we just need another flat, but I also need a little weird corner piece. That goes over there. I then need weird corner piece over there, and now I just need a ton of verticals. That goes over there, that goes over there, and then I just need one more top left, and then we go and speed it up, and that should be it. Did I forget something somewhere? Is that everything? That should be everything. We'll find out when we fail in a second. That should be everything, though. Alright, there we go. Yeah, that was a really free generator, especially for hard mode. I'm curious to see what it will give you on, like, the max mode, though. For hard, that was very, very free. Alright, there we go. And we'll grab our granite on our way out. Always get those free doubles. And then we'll go teleport back over. And yeah, let's go do some more stonemason. Still gotta go get that level. And then I guess we'll just kill time until we get the bounties again in like half an hour. And see how much XP we can close the gap by then. And that's pretty much all we need to go do this stream then. As far as just showing it all then. Since of course we can't really spam them out. But similar to how we've been doing smithing bounties off stream, I will still continue to keep poking these here and there. Probably not as much as I've been doing the smithing ones, but, you know, I'm definitely going to take the 2-star ones and higher. I'm not sure if I'm going to take every 1-star, see, though. This is, like, material that's really easy to do. I don't know, we'll see. It just, Stonemason XP definitely seems like the hardest one of these 4 to go get. So, once I get tier 8 smithing, I might be going all in on just dumping my knowledge into Stonemason then. At least whenever I'm putting something into this chapter XP. Because I still need to go focus forge or knowledge points as well. But anyways, what am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm grabbing flint so I can process some of these. Oh, lucky 7's nice. 777. Alright, let's go keep processing these then. Hopefully we'll get a few more 3-stars so we have them for upgrade material later. Also, I don't think I've ever in recent times seen the Stonemason rooms this crowded. It's kind of funny how... I'm curious to see if when world events come out, if they're going to start doing kind of similar to what new update days do. Like, when we will go get a world event for, let's say, I don't know, Fisher or whatever. It needs to be a good skill, though. Let's use a better example. Woodcutter. Let's say we get a world event for woodcutting. I wonder how busy Chapter 2 is going to be. Because not only is it a free-to-play chapter, but it's also a skill that would be very worthwhile to probably do the venture for, or the world event for. So I'm curious to see how that would go down. Like, is it going to be, like, update days where all you see is, like, every single person in the entire game in those 2 rooms? Because there's a good chance, like, 1/4 of the total population of the game is in these 2 rooms right now. Both because of player base size, but also just because the update kind of drags people to, you know, wherever the new thing is. So I'm curious to see if world events in general are going to do that in the future. The only problem is there's a lot of skills where world event might not be that useful for, ultimately. Like, a forge or world event would be kind of interesting. Because all the very tryhard players that would still be around would likely already have, like, max forager by then. Unless they're waiting for forager bounties plus max forager gloves or something. If they're doing it, like, mega macro efficient. But a lot of people would have already rushed forager, so that one might not be as populated. Whereas something like a Stonemason world event would have, like, literally every person on the entire server there. Or even a leatherworker world event if this the people that didn't already max it before the leatherworker got nerfed into the ground. Because the world events that would likely have the highest population would be, if I had to guess, alchemy, carpenter, everything but mining in chapter 3, and leatherworker. If there was a world event for any of those, it'd probably be like half the people on the entire server on that world event or something. I'm really curious to see how populated they might get once they do start popping up. Because we haven't really had it. We had it for the Christmas event. And we got to see, like, you know, how populated it got from that. But we haven't seen it for any permanent, you know, mode within the game. Because we haven't gotten any world events that are, like, officially permanent yet. Obviously, right now they're working on bounties and some interconnectivity to all the skills, but... hopefully after that they'll start working on some of those world events, because we don't have any yet. At least not permanent ones. Like, the Christmas event was kind of a world event. The Easter event is likely going to be similar, and that's going to be kind of like a world event. But we've never had a permanent one yet. Yeah, we're getting close to our double knowledge meter. But yeah, at this point we're pretty much just going to have to burn 30 minutes. I just want to go to the bone zone and then just come back to go finish those. But no, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to stick on flint for now. Because worst comes to worst when it comes to these bounties, we can just buy them and break even anyways. So if we use everything we have in the bank, it doesn't really matter too much. So even if this stack went down to almost 0, it would still be fine. Hopefully it doesn't get that low. We should still have like 200 something left, luckily. Because obviously we need them for bounty tasks. And unfortunately in the current state of the game, you can't buy stuff already like pre-processed. You can for carpenter, oddly enough, but you can't for anything else. Like, you can't buy already etched stones, you can't buy already smithed bars, stuff like that. You can if you have trading enabled. But, you know, from a shop perspective, you can't currently buy them. Currently, the only skill that's like that is, Carpenter, oddly enough. And I guess technically Alchemy, depending on how you look at it. But Carpenter is the only skill where you buy a crafting material that's already been processed. In every other situation, you can't do that. Like, you can't buy processed leather, you can't buy smithed bars, you can't buy, you know, etched stone. Carpentry is the only exception to that in the whole game at the moment. Like, something that's like a processed ingredient. Though there is a chance Chapter 5 might have some shops like that. Like, you'd probably be able to buy processed leather in Chapter 5 in the same way that you could buy processed carpenter supplies in Chapter 2. There's a really good chance you'll be able to buy final step leather. The only problem is they're going to be very expensive. So they're probably not worth buying. Because you're not going to have the discount like Chapter 4 would have on the leather. So not only are you buying it with no discount, but it's also going to be more expensive since it's already processed. So the price on those would be absurdly outrageous. Like pre-nerf prices, probably. Like how leather was selling for like absolute bank before. That's how much it's going to cost to buy each leather once a shop like that exists. It'd probably be like pre-nerfed leather prices. But as the buy option, not the sell option. Something I keep forgetting too. I can actually check how many people are in here. We have 9 in this room, and however many are in that room. I would say like 5 or 6 probably. So it's almost 10% of the total population of the game then. There's like 200 something people playing. And within these 2 rooms, there's like 20-ish people. Not counting anyone else out doing bounties or whatever. Or have already done their bounties and are just, you know, doing other stuff now. But yeah, about 10% of the total population of the game at any given moment is doing Stonemason bounties right now. But yeah, they're definitely not as good as the smithing ones, though. But they're probably still worth checking just to, you know, go by. Especially if you're just doing a double check here. Go check your Stonemason bounty, go check your smithing bounty, you know, get the double value there. They're not that far away from each other. Like, it's a little bit of a walk, but it's not that far. Alright, 2 more inventories, and we should have to use a potion then. And that will bring us very close to our goal. Oops, not what I wanted. That's my tier 8. That's the only problem with me grabbing my tier 8 now. I'm going to keep confusing that for the other thing. Because even though I got rid of all my tier 7 flint, now I have tier 8 flint. So I replaced one problem with another because I can't process tier 8 for a very long time. Even though I can currently mine it, of course. Which we just did earlier. No new room for this update? Nope. No new rooms were added. Not a single new room was added. Which I'm actually kind of surprised. But yeah, they just reused a bunch of dead end rooms mostly. That is one thing I was somewhat surprised by. It says, well, then again, fishing bounties came out and didn't add any new rooms either. Do you think the enhanced tree will be a semi-AFK thing for woodcutting? I assume most of those were just going to be tool upgrades or something. But, that would be interesting if it was. Because every single skill would benefit quite a bit by getting at least one activity that's similar to what Fear Potion is for combat. Because the semi-AFK time in this game is not that long. Most semi-AFK methods in this game range from like 30 seconds to like 2 minutes. But the only exception being like Rage Potion that goes up to like 10 minutes. But Rage Potion is like a huge outlier compared to the average within the game. Most activities only like 30 seconds to 2 minutes. And excluding combat, I think the best AFKs are only about a minute each currently. And that's after clicking like several times, like every node in a room. But I wouldn't mind better AFK activities. I know some of the best AFK, or the main AFK, I cannot speak. The main AFK activities I tend to spam in old school RuneScape, which I'm actually not doing right now, but I otherwise would. They're generally around like 4 to 5 minutes. Most of them are from like 2 to 4 minutes, I would say. Biggest issue with Brighter Shores right now is, aside from Enrage Potion, the average is closer to 1 minute. Whereas if you were to take old school RuneScape's average, it's probably closer to 3 minutes for AFK time. One big issue old school RuneScape has with some AFK activities, though, is they make the AFK activity worthless to do. compared to actively doing it. Which I hope is something Brighter Shores never gets around to doing in that regard. Where the AFK activity is so bad that you never bother doing it. Because also RuneScape has done that for a lot of activities, unfortunately. Like, woodcutting's one of the few things in the entire game where the AFK isn't like that bad, as well as combat. But almost every other AFK in old school RuneScape is almost trolling to do compared to doing it actively. It's just so bad the rate for it. I keep clicking that. Gosh, I shouldn't have mined of 6 flint. I'm gonna keep clicking that like every time now. Oh no. Yeah, as far as AFK activities in the game, I like them being available. But I don't really like the way that old school RuneScape went about it. As almost none of them are actually viable to do. Like, they're better than doing nothing, but barely. And I'm hoping whenever they do come to Brighter Shores that they're actually kind of worth doing. Like, Enrage Potions are really worth doing. They're the highest knowledge per click. Not per hour, but per click. As well as the pretty decent combat XP. You do have to fight weaker foes, but you're still getting the full amount of money. You're getting basically the full amount of XP. You're just getting like 1/3 the knowledge. The only problem with the XP rate is since you have to fight something weaker, you're getting less XP in that regard. But you're still getting the full money and you're still getting the full drops and everything. Like if everything was balanced stat way, it'd probably be fine. Where it's worse than doing it actively, but it's still really, 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 really good to do AFK. So as long as they balance everything around what Fear Potion is like for combat right now, it should be fine. But if they make it any weaker than that, that'd be problematic. As it would be just way too weak to do the AFK activity over just actively playing. As the Rage Potions are like right at like that middle line. Where it's like just enough worth it that it's worth doing. If you need to play a little bit less actively. But it's also because the duration of it is insane. Like 9-10 minute AFK is really, really, really good. But if you gave that same XP rate to like 3-minute AFK, it'd be really, really, really bad. It's only the actual duration that kind of makes it good. Because if you applied the same balance of Fear Potions right now and applied it to like a tree for 3 minutes, that tree for 3 minutes would not be worth doing. If it was as nerfed as using a Fear Potion. Oh, sorry, our next knowledge is almost there. But our goal of today was just a really easy one, just to go get to Basalt here. So once we get the new bounties at the end of the hour in like 20-ish minutes, we should be good to go. Also, I'm still passiving Forager. I know we started off on the bone, right? This is because I need to be in the area. But I am currently still passiving them. Actually, I've been doing literally every passive because I haven't had as much time to play recently. And probably won't until after Easter. Obviously, we're still covering the updates as they happen, like today. But aside from that, I won't be able to, like, play as far as, like, mega grind until a bit after Easter. So, look at this. I used up all the 2 times on Sea Slug. I used up all the 2 times on Sheep Rib. Guess what's next? We're doing Feather right now. And we're like 2/3 the way through Feather, I think, right now, or something, or 1/3 the way. Somewhere's around there. Some of them at percent. I wish you could check. There's actually no way to check here how much extra 2 times you have. I wish there was a way to check, particularly on my alt accounts, because I keep forgetting. On my main account, I generally remember. But on my 2 side accounts, I always keep forgetting how much percent they have left. And if you have 1% remaining or 100% remaining, it still shows the same icon here. But it's something they still haven't added yet. Like some kind of button here to check what percent left we have. Like I have nothing I can click here to show me how much percent left I have just 2 times right now. It should be about 60% roughly. But there's nothing here that says I have 60% left here. Like the only way you can know is if you go to this activity. Physically go there, go to the AFK and then click on it. It will then tell you how much you have left. But there's no way on this screen currently to check it. Something they'll probably add at some point. There's one of those little bit of infos that's still missing right now. Oh, so I'm about to go too high on knowledge right now. It's fine though. About to waste like 2% knowledge points here. Oh no. It's not too big a deal though. And these I will be putting into Stonemason, just to make sure when we go turn in the bounties at the end of the hour, that will be good to go on level. So we will go drink this. Also, that reminds me, I need to go make more of these 10%. I've been having to buy them from the shop because I haven't done the Majabatuban grind yet since the milestone update. And because of that, yeah, these things are pretty expensive. They're not the most expensive thing in the world, but they start adding up. They're, I think, like 11 or 12 silver each to go and make these things. Like, obviously, that's not, like, crazy high, but, you know, it's a little expensive. We're spending a little over 1 silver per 1% XP bonus. It's definitely worth it, though. But I keep making them as I need it. I'll make, like, 1 or 2 inventories just to make sure it doesn't ever hit 0. But we're actually getting really low. I only have 6 left. And, of course, I've just been using them for knowledge points. I haven't been chucking them or anything. But whenever we go and do combat later, I'm considering after level 20 combat to pivot into Majabatuban to go do our like 2 sets of Majabatuban I need to go do. Mostly because I need all the supplies so I can stop paying for alchemy. I keep having to spend like half a silver or half a gold just to go make some potions when I could be getting it for free just by doing some combat. So level 20 to 21 and 21 to 22 is probably going to be Majabatuban. Just so we can stop paying for all these Majabatuban potions. Because we're eventually going to be getting them anyways when we come back for combat here, so I might as well do it sooner rather than later. The only reason I'm not doing it now is, you know, I still got to go train 30 more levels before we can go to another area. It's a lot better than before, where you had to go like hundreds of levels for that like almost a year period after they did the first combat rework. But 50 levels still takes a while. Like 50 levels is not quick. Like, yeah, you could do that in a week if you were to focus on it enough, but it is not particularly quick. Especially if you're doing it AFK-like and not throwing the knowledge points at them. That's easily like 50 hours of AFK to go and go from one zone to the next if you want to. Alright, 1/3 of a level to go. How much XP do we actually need? 2.2 million. We're getting like, what, 40k per thing? So that means we need to make about 50-ish more, but we're going to do the bounties, which means we need to make about 35 more. Which means I need to do about 6 inventories plus the bounties at the end of this hour. And they're made at 30 seconds each with, what, 6 per inventory. So I got to make 36. At 30, that's 18 minutes. And that's about when bounties are ready, too. So that should line up almost perfectly, then. So by the time the bounties are ready, that should be what we need to go get our level, then. As both of those are pretty much exactly in 18 minutes. So, wow, our XP number is going to work, like, right on the dot for this. It's kind of funny. But we gotta do this for almost 18 more minutes, then we do the bounties, and boom, we get our level. Will be as easy as that. And of course, we'll check the smithing bounties as well, because they're right in the area. But yeah, now that they made the Forager gloves wieldable, I really hope we get a lot more equipment like that in the future. I know at one point they said you'll probably be able to do that with your weapons too. Or, you know, like the tools. Because initially they said they weren't going to do it, but then they were kind of considering it. So at some point you might be able to eventually transmog your weapon into a pickaxe or something, or, you know, walk around with a pickaxe in your hand and stuff like that. I really hope bosses and some other things in the future give some really good overrides for some of the tools. Because one of the big issues with a lot of the end tools is they're all kind of like gold trimmed. I would love if you could have like some kind of other design for it. Especially with Cryonite weapons all being gold at the end. It's a little bit too gold heavy. Like other classes don't have that much of an issue with it because it's only their tools that get golden. But for Cryonite, it's just gold everything. Every single weapon you have is going to be gold. Every single tool that you pretty much end up maxing out on ends up becoming gold. Like it has gold trim on there, has gold trim on the rod. Even the thing in the middle has gold on it. The pickaxe, you know, for mining has gold on it. Like everything just becomes gold. So it'd be love to have some overrides for that at some point. Either from various minigames, activities, other things, dungeons, whatever they put it onto. I'm still really curious to see if dungeons will have a point shop or not, though. If they're going to do it like Dungeoneering way back in the day. Or is basically just purely a point shop system. Because if so, they could add so many cosmetics and other things to the shop and just keep expanding it over time. That way, preemptively going and grinding a bunch of points ahead of time could also be good. For whenever they do like a big cosmetic drop or something. I was hoping they would put a lot of cosmetics under like a clue scroll like system though. Especially since they have a bounty system, so they could just make each clue just be, you know, one single bounty. It seems like Forager's getting something that's almost like a little treasure hunt. I'm not sure if it's going to be exactly like how, you know, almost like a clue scroll would kind of work. There's a lot of fun things they can still do with bounties that they haven't done yet. Some of which they're probably still planning on doing, but haven't actually implemented yet. One of the more obvious ones is obviously you could do like a Slayer task-like thing for it. Which Combat is planning on getting like a greater foe thing or whatever they end up calling it. I think we're getting it anytime in the next few months, but it is something probably getting added after they do the combat rework. In a year from now. After the combat rework, does this seem like something they would add? Doesn't seem like something they would do beforehand though. Because they would probably want the full combat overhaul in before they do combat bounties. But to what we currently understand about them, it seems like they're basically just going to be like superiors from like old school RuneScape or RuneScape 3 or any other similar game. Or you'll go to an area, fight a harder version of something, and then, you know, go kill it and then get your bounty claimed. Maybe it'll drop something you need to go bring back to them, kind of like how fishing does. And then you just get a bunch of XP. Probably no uniques or anything, though. Unless they do. Though I do have to say, I absolutely hate the unique system that old school RuneScape Slayer creatures have. Mostly because they made the heart way too rare, but also so required to do magic. Alright, third of level to go. And in 14 more minutes, we get bounties. And those bounties should push us over whatever last little bit of XP we need. And of course, we'll do smithing and filtration at the same time as well and be good to go. And during all of this, I think we got 3 or 4 3-star Hammer Mage weapons. Which will be, of course, 4-star Cryonite eventually. The only reason I haven't been converting them quite yet is I'm kind of waiting on, you know, special attacks and everything. But I am getting really close to running out of storage. I think we're like 2 weeks away from finally running out of storage, Rift storage, for the first time ever. Since the expansion of it with everything. But yeah, we're actually going to run out, where my whole bank is going to be 3-star equipment. I guess at that point I need to start preemptively making some 4-star stuff, I guess. At various level ranges. Better start doing some actual combat so we can start using some of them. It just feels a little bit of a waste to make a 4-star right now. When you don't get the benefit of the special attacks from it. Because the 15 extra power that you get is not a lot. Like, it is helpful. But it's not as helpful as the amount of time it takes to go make it. Like, the amount of time it takes to make it does not save you more time than the extra power benefit it gives you. Like, you're getting negative time if you go out of your way to... Which is one big mistake I made pretty early on, like the first month or two. Is 4-star weapons without special attacks. Is negative time if you were to go make them to try to save time. As it's quicker just to get a 3-star weapon and, you know, just roll with that than it is to bother making a 4-star currently. The amount of extra benefits is too small without special attacks. Which is one of the reasons why I have so many 3-stars in the bank right now. They're kind of all waiting to become special attack 4-stars, but the mechanic doesn't exist yet. And soon we're going to over-encumber before the update even comes out, at which point I guess I'll just train combat with them. But I gotta make them 4-stars to be able to train them because they're all such high level. Like, what we're making right now is like 200 levels off a max level in the current state of the game. Which I'm nowhere near. I'm like 1,000 levels off using this thing. I mean, not 1,000, but like 800 or something. So we got to convert them into downgraded 4-star equipment. Otherwise I can't use them at all in their 3-star state. Which is something they did change back in like November of last year or December of last year. They did make it so the Infusionist can downgrade. That didn't used to be a thing. Before you needed the exact number math. But now you can do it to any level below your max craft. So if we did, I don't know, let's say 3 items that are all tier 25. Before, you would, of course, get a 25 weapon out of it. But now you can downgrade it to 24 or 23 or 20 or 19, 20 or, you know, this exact level. Like, you can downgrade it to anything below. You can't do it above, obviously. Like, you can't make 325s into a 26. But you can make 325s into, you know, a 20 or 15 or 10 or whatever you need to downgrade it to. You can't upgrade it, but you can downgrade it to any number you need. But I did that back in, like, November or so of last year. Haven't utilized it too many times yet. I think I've used it, like, twice to do that. Because obviously you normally want it at max level if you're getting, like, drops from an enemy or something. But it's really relevant when you're doing, like, high-level crafting like this. Because I can't use this for, like, another year at this current rate. But I can convert it downwards into something that we can use, like, you know, when we get a 3-star out of it. So even though these 1 stars and 2 stars are useless, the 3-star you can go and downgrade to any number you want. As long as you have the other 2 3-stars to go with it. And then, of course, you also get the extra power that the 4-star has. But that's basically what we have to do with all this stuff we have banked. Not right now, but at some point. So I can start preemptively making a lot of the gear I need for all my level ranges, because we kind of know what we're going to need preemptively for every weapon in every region. And I could just make the starting upgrade and then the middle upgrade. So make one at level 20. Like, if I need to make a bunch of weapons preemptively right now, let's say my bank was full literally right now if I get one more 3-star. What I would end up doing, if my bank was to be fully full with 3 stars right now, is I would go make a 1925 blue weapon, then a 20 blue weapon, then a 2025 blue weapon, then, you know, and so forth, so on and so forth. So a 21 blue weapon, then a 21 and a half, then a 22, then a 22 and a half, so on and so forth. And basically, like, every 25 levels just have a blue weapon upgrade with the weapon thing. And just do that all the way until, you know, whatever level, until our bank is clear. I don't need to do that quite yet, but it is ultimately what we would do if we were to get to that point. The biggest issue with that is we kind of need bone right bounties. Because bone right's the main component I'm missing at this point. Smithing is pretty good to go at this point. Stonemason will probably be there within a week or two as far as, you know, good to go. But bone right, I have like 0 bone right weapons banked right now. It is very bad, mostly because it requires so much carpentry supply, so I haven't bothered. I was also waiting on the forager grind, which is pretty much done now, which is nice. We kind of already have all the forager stuff we need. And if we need to go back for more, we can. It's not that big a deal. So, yeah, we're at a point where we can kind of start doing it now since we just recently got to the forager level for it. I just need to buy all the carpentry supplies. Without bounties, we do have to lose money on all of them, though. But it might still be worth it just to make sure we can clear up the bank a little bit for future updates. But also to make sure we have any amount of bank space, because if we run out, we literally have to do something with it. Either sell it, craft it, or do something. If we run out of space, we can't get more space at the moment. Alright, 10 minutes to go. We're almost there. 2 more inventories, and we're pretty much at bounties then. Yeah, we still got like 500 left. I didn't use nearly as many as I thought it would. Nice. Maybe I miscalculated something somewheres. He goes, not counting knowledge points, we should have been down to like 200. But I guess I didn't really factor in how much we'd get from the bounties. And I didn't really factor in, you know, 2 sets of bounty points twice. So that's probably where the rest of the numbers came in from. Because we're only going to go down to like 500, whereas the original estimate was like 200 something. But it's because I didn't factor in knowledge, and I didn't factor in exactly how much bounties would give. Also, still feels weird to be in pretty much full 4-star right now. I even have the upgrade to make this into a 4-star. I'm just missing the Guardian piece. I have the Cryonite piece. I have the Hammer Mage piece. I'm just missing the Guardian. And then I would be in pretty much full 4-star for the first time ever. Though we are starting to get to the combat level where these 4-stars are starting to fall off a little bit. By like level 30 combat, these would start to get replaced with 2 stars. It's pretty much how long all 4-star gear lasts for. There's about 25 levels roughly, give or take. There's a couple other factors that fall into play, but generally speaking, if you were to want to, let's say we're in a meta where running 4-star armor and 4-star weapons are actually worth it, you only really need to make it like every 25 levels roughly right now. Like every 25 levels covers it. So this armor lasts us till basically until we get to plant, which is something we're really strong against. The level 31 plant in the area that's weak to blue. And you can just step back 1 space to go heal if you need to. So they're really easy to kill. Especially for Cryonite, but even without Cryonite, it's still pretty easy. Alright, 1 more inventory after this, and bounty should be ready. And let's go do all of our bounties, throw our knowledge into Stonemason, and boom, we should have a level 13, which will give us our main goal of today, which is to get to Basalt. Just so that we can get something done for Stonemason, at least one unlock, since it is Stonemason Day. But yeah, overall, the bounties, they're okay. They're definitely worse than smithing bounties. They're slightly better than cooking bounties. But ultimately, they have the same issue cooking bounties do, in that you have to travel too much. Once you know where they all are, which we basically do at this point, it's not that bad, but it's still a lot of in-between walking where you're getting almost no XP. Even though there are some rocks you could touch along the way if you want to go poke at them. But yeah, they're okay. 2-star and higher, definitely always worth taking if you see them. 1-stars are basically on a case-by-case basis. But as it seems like at this point, Stonemason is now officially the hardest skill to train in Mines of Bitumen. Bounties didn't fix them enough to make them better. Like, they are still good, or, you know, improved as of today. But it is the slowest skill to train in all of Chapter 4, even more than Bonerite. Because even if Bonerite is equally as bad as Stonemason bounties, which it probably wouldn't be because you're going to a machine, so it should be kind of like Cobalt Arena, where you just go to one big hub area to go turn them all in. But even if they were equally as bad as Stonemason bounties, it would still be worse than, or Stonemason would still be worse than Bonerite. Honestly, even with no bounties, it's still kind of worse, just because of how good passives are for Bonerite. It has the best passives of any production skill in the game, which kind of carries it like crazy. That does have the downside of you having to use your passive for it, since you could, of course, only ever do one passive at a time. Unless they ever change that. That'd be crazy if you could do 2 passives in a day. Imagine you can, like, hire someone in this game who can help train you and just go, like, put a second passive down. I highly doubt they would ever let you do that. But it would be really, really, really funny if you could eventually do more than 1 passive at a time. I highly doubt they would ever do that. And let's say, hypothetically, they ever did. Whatever things you have to do to unlock that should be the first thing you do at the start of any account ever for the rest of time. Because having 2 passives at the same time would be so broken beyond belief. For the same reason why having 4 venture slots would be so broken compared to having 2. Even 3 compared to 2 is still really good. That's why we're rushing all the way to max Forager. But anything that ever adds another venture slot, or if they ever somehow allow you to do 2 passives at once, whatever the requirements are to do any of that, you should do absolutely immediately. They are so strong. Like, the amount of XP that they end up giving over time is just so high. Even just 1 venture slot, especially compared to 2, it's basically, you know, a 50% increase to your total amount of XP that you're getting per day for free. Starts to add up to be a lot of XP over time. Like, literal dozens of levels per year just for having another venture slot. That would take you, like, what, maybe a few hours per year to go check? Plus the supplies that you probably need anyways if you're putting it on, like, Merchant or something similar. I think initially we're going to be putting it into mining just so I can get all the Death Stone I need. But also to expedite some of these earlier levels where we don't really need the stuff as much. But, yeah, it's probably what I'm going to be using it for initially. But then we're going to be pivoting to double all the stuff you need for the Chronopolis potion. So the Cinnamon Sticks plus Grape into one other thing. The one other thing will probably still be a fish. It just feels weird taking only 1 fish when they're all set up as double. So maybe I'd still keep doing it on mining, I'm not sure yet. But I was considering doing 1 fish to Merchant after we get all of our mining stuff out of the way. It's not 100% certain if we are going down that route or not. Alright, bounties already any second now. I guess we can just go grab 1 inventory of something we need and go from there. What is the thing that we're missing the most of right now? I guess I would say tier 7 basalt, but I'm still not allowed to buy tier 7 basalt yet. Because I need to actually have the level first. Otherwise, I would go make a run to go buy it right now. We've got to kill 2 minutes real quick. Alright, let me go process something we have here then. Let me go do like 1 inventory of Death Stone. That's a little bit quicker. Give me 1 inventory of Death Stone because I'm going to need that for shields anyways and we're starting to run low. And that should be exactly enough for the bounty board then. So we'll process 1 set of these, or 1 full inventory. And then we'll go check the bounty board and it should be ready by then. Let's see, what's the population in this room looking like? 5. Oh, not as many people here. Also, no one doing the AFKs right now. That's one thing I was mentioning the other week as well. But I still wish they would add at some point. I wish every AFK activity had a number above it saying how many people in the entire game are currently doing that activity. Like a number over this saying that there's like 37 people at this station. Number over here saying that there's like 15 on this station. Something over there saying there's like 3 here, 2 there, 15 there, you know, so on and so forth. It'd be cool if every single one of these, from an MMO perspective, is like, oh yeah, there's like this many people actually doing this activity. It'd also be a good way to kind of let newer players know, like, hey, this one's actually worth doing. Like if you see one that has like, you know, 200 something people on it, it's like, oh, that one's good. Or it could just be because it's one that's really condensed, like Botanist, where every single passive is literally at the same location. Because right now you currently can't see, you know, total number of people there or anything. Because there are people there right now doing this venture, or doing this passive. But we have no clue what that number is. Could be 5, could be 10, could be 20. Could be some other number higher or lower. Is it kind of cool to tell? It'd be mostly useful for newer players, but just like one of those little like fun just info pieces to have any given time. Or it's not really needed for general gameplay, but it can kind of give you direction on like, oh, this passive might be a little bit better than this other passive. It also makes the world feel just slightly more populated in that sense. Because obviously everyone who's doing a passive is technically in the world, but not in the world. But our character's still doing something, but you know, they're not logged in. Alright, I don't actually want to do anything with the Death Stone right now. I just wanted to go and bank it. What should be ready, though, is our tasks in like any second now. So let me go check what we have. And 1 second. Boom. What do we get? Oh, high rarity across the board. Nice. Also, we have not gotten a single duplicate yet. I'm not sure if it just never rolls it or if we've just been that unlucky. But every single task I just got, once again, for the 3rd time, is all different stuff. I wonder if it always tries doing it that way. Or I've just been really, really unlucky to stream. Either is very likely. But this is the 3rd time that we got an all different task. Not a single one is a duplicate. Like, I don't have double Arbor Ray, I don't have double Fire, I don't have double Shield, I don't have double anything. Alright, let me go do each of these one at a time. Let's go do the Death Stone first, since we just got it. We gotta figure out how we want to go turn these in as well. So I gotta turn in Fire, then Impact, then Yellow, then Teleport to turn in Shield, then Arbor Ray. Which means I can probably EXP pot at the time that I turn in Yellow. And then EXP pot for Yellow, Shield, and Arbor Ray in that order. Also, just so I don't forget, let me go put these in order real quick. I know where we need to go for them, but just so I really don't forget, I'm going to put them in exact turn-in order. Alright, there we go. Now they're in exact turn-in order. Oh no, I got a bigger shield. I wanted a weaker shield. Give me a 1-star shield. Ooh. Oh, since I had a bounty for that, I could have turned that in for a little bit extra XP. That's fine. If I would have walked over there and gotten the shield bounty, I could have just turned it in for this one and then just canceled it. It would have only been like 30, 20k extra XP, but you know, it's more than nothing. Plus the little extra money you would get from it. Alright, there we go. Got the right one. Alright, let me go sell the shield, and let's go do the next one. So we don't need that. Put away all that. Okay, what's next? Let's go make the fire weapon. For this, we need the pole over here. I then need the andesite over here, which I feel like we're running really low on. Yeah, we are. Hopefully we have enough to do this task. We should. So we do this for the fire pole. And what else do we need then? I need impact, which means we need flint plus whatever the other thing is. Is there anything else that needs flint in all this? No. Also, the granite I can make the other thing for, so I'll probably make that one then. Just so I don't have to make the weird other granite. Oh no, getting a U-pole for it's fine. Oh no, that's what makes the other thing. Yeah, I'll just do it through there. Because then I can double dip granite. So let me double dip granite then. So we don't need to get a bunch of different stuff. So let me go over here. Do any of them need something weird? Granite, yeah, I need U-pole. So I need U-pole for the one granite. And then we grab all the rest of our granite so we can double item here. Oh, I'm running low on granite. That's actually not enough. Let me go process some. Where's my other granite? Tier 6. Alright, let me go process a few of these. Actually, I might as well do all 3 sets while we're here. We're already here with them, just so we don't have to come back. The last one will only be 5, but that's fine. And that should be everything we need for both of them. And then the only thing we need is the flint with whatever the other thing is, like the yew pole, or not the yew pole, the hickory pole? No, the pine pole. Whatever it is. It requires some kind of pole. We'll figure it out once we get there. Which, let me check right now, just while we're waiting for this thingy. I believe it's pine. Is either pine or hickory? It is... pine. Okay, I was right the first time. Just wasn't sure. But we need pine pole for that with flint then. And all this granite that we're doing right now goes for the other 2. As we're going to make the 2-handed good yellow weapon for Hammer Mage. And then make the 1-handed, or no, we're going to make the 2-handed green range thingy. As that one only requires granite since it's already going to be in our inventory. And then that's everything except the thing that we need 3 flint or 4 flint, whatever it was, with 1 pine pole then. And then I go check my other bounties for smithing, see if we get any synergy on it. Because we got to go turn in on shield guy, so we might be able to go and get a kobold in there as well. If we need to go make like a kobold shield or some kind of like broadsword or something. So we'll see if we can get the synergy there as well. And hopefully this 10% potion will align perfectly. So we can double dip that and get everything else we need from it. Alright, so for this, I need a yellow weapon. Wait, I grabbed the wrong yew pole? Wait. I just processed tier 4 granite. Wait. Oh no. I meant to process tier... Do I not have tier... Oh, I don't have more tier 6. Oh no. Wait, I need to go buy some. Wait, that was the wrong tier. I didn't even realize it. Oh no. I have so much tier 7 granite, but I have like no tier 6. Oh, that's a bit of a problem. Probably should clear my inventory some, but it's fine. Alright, well, let me go grab some. Whoops. Well, at least it's processed now, so we don't need to worry about that, but that's the wrong tier. I was wondering why the EXP seemed a little bit lower there. Oh, yeah, it's tier 4 instead of tier 6. Whoops. Luckily, similar to smithing bounties, these do break even, it seems. So you could buy literally all the supplies and still technically break even or profit if you're doing the 2-star or higher ones. Which actually something we didn't get to see this stream. Not like it's much different, but we didn't get to see any 3 times or higher multipliers. But now we'll go process these. Whoops. Now this is the right tier. I just realized OBS had an update. All my sound bars are vertical now rather than horizontal. I just now noticed that. All the audio bars now are vertical. I wonder if I could change it back to horizontal if I want to. I don't know, I don't really mind it either way. I'm not sure how I just noticed that now. It must have been like that all day. I even recorded a video earlier, didn't even notice that. Alright, so we'll go make these 2 weapons, and we just gotta make the impact weapon for the top hat guy. And then we should be good to go. How's our knowledge meter looking? Hopefully fine. Because ideally I want a 10% when we turn in yellow. I'm hoping it aligns that way. We'll find out in a second. Hopefully don't waste any knowledge there. We just want to maximize how much we could end up putting into our knowledge points while double dipping the potion. Just because these are in short supply at the moment, so we got to get as much value from them as we can when we do. Alright, so I need big 2-hand weapon, and I need big green weapon. So I need you, and then I need big yellow wacky weapon. Which is basically the equivalence of our big blue sword for Cryonite, except for Hammer Mage. But yeah, Hammer Mage advantage right there. They already know everything they need to make. I know it for Cryonite stuff, but I don't have it as memorized for Stonemason. Also, it's going to be a nightmare doing bone right, because I forget what everything you need. Because not only did they change the bones that you need for everything, but they also changed the numbers that you need for everything. And they just have really weird carpentry supply combinations. So like everything with bone right, I have like no clue. At least Stonemason, I have like some resemblance of an idea. Even more so after today, now that we need it for Stonemason bounties. But bone right's gonna be rough when it comes out. Just because it requires so much carpentry supplies, and they change nearly every bone to carpentry supply combination when they're reworking it when bounties end up coming out, or not bounties, when milestones end up coming out. Alright, is there anything else we still need? Oh yeah, we need the impact weapon. So I need flint and pine pole. So we'll take a bunch of pines, grab a bunch of flint. Flint. And you make that at one-handed melee. And hopefully we just be one and done. And then that will be every single turn in, we gotta go do made. Wait, that didn't count. Oh, it's too low of a level. No! He's forcing me to have to make the other thing. I just now realized it. No! He doesn't say it, but he's forcing us to have to make the other weapon. Aww. Because it's fine for him because he's the lower level. But no, this one actually has to be the fist thingy. Or the hammer thingy. Alright, let me go make them the hammer thingy. Luckily it's used with flint, so I already have it in my inventory. Oh, whoops. Alright, let me go make, wait, what do you need? I think that's hickory. Let me go get hickory poles. If they'll ever let me move over there. There we go. This should be hickory pole, I'm pretty sure. This is the one I keep confusing for hickory. And this is one-handed melee. And there should be a green weapon right here that we can make. Perfect. Alright, there we go. Now that will count. Alright, then we just go check our smithing bounty, see if we can get something to go into Kobold Arena, since we have to go there anyways. And then let's go on a turn-in spree. Should be able to get a 5 or 6 turn-in then in one big chain. And then the Kobold Arena goes between these two if we were to go do it. Hopefully we have like a 2-star or higher to go turn in a shield or something. So we can double turn in a shield for 2 different skills then. Alright, do we get it? Yeah. Oh no! We got higher rarity. I gotta make another one. Gotta keep this one. Rip. Like, it's both lucky and unlucky. It feels weird being disappointed with a higher rarity though. But that means I need to make another one. Like, technically it's a good thing, but worst case scenario would technically be a 2-star. Because I can't actually craft anything out of it, but I would also have to go make another one. But no, 3 stars actually kind of fine. Though sometimes you can go on a really long 3-star or 2-star spree. 1-star, of course, is the most common. Alright, so now we can go bank all of this, assuming this is the right one. We got a 1-star! There we go. Okay, turn in time. Let me just double check if we have any smithing synergy. Alright, do we have smithing synergy? Otherwise we'll go over there. And if we do, then we'll go turn it in after shield turn in. Alright, do we have Kobold Arena? Yes or no? We do! Nice! Huge. Technically we have 2, but I'll turn in the better one, of course. Alright, let me go build this real quick then. Grab our Flatnium. Hey, Source Central's here. We'll grab our Flatniums. Like we already have some processed already. And we'll keep making this until we get a 1-star. And then that one gets turned in between these two then. Which means to be able to make them all, maybe I'll go do my 10% once we get to Shield Guy then. Instead of doing it at Yellow Guy. Just to ensure we can get it for all these 3. We got a little bit of a walk before we get to the Arbor Guy. Alright, let me go move this in correct order too, just so we don't forget. Not like it matters too much, but just to really make sure we don't forget. Oh no, but my knowledge rate will make it so I have to go and do it at the other guy. Oh, that's gonna be a little unfortunate. Also, I do have all the stuff we need. I should have 6 items on me, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we got everything here. Alright, we're good to go. But yeah, due to where our knowledge meter's at, I'm actually gonna have to 10% at this guy, which is kind of annoying. That means I should be able to turn in everything except for the final one. Like these 4 I should be able to turn in, hopefully in one go. And we'll find out in a second. Unfortunately, we definitely can't do it on this guy. Even though he's a little bit of a bigger one. Oh wait, that just reminds me. No, I actually do have to do it here because I'm gonna over encumber if I don't. Oh well. We're gonna have to waste some XP here. Yeah, we gotta put this into this now. Nice, we got our level. Use item on. Oh yeah, what item did you want? Oh yeah, duh, fire. I don't ever have to guess. It's not cooking. It's always the same item. Because I was about to double check, like you would with Cobalt Arena. It's like, oh yeah, what item does it want? No, it's always the same. Alright, then we use that again. I'm gonna put this in the smithing now again. We got our level, we got our goal. But yeah, I'm not gonna be able to 10% this on all of them. Because it has the cooking issue where they're all a mile away. I will be able to get it for the next 2. So we could technically re-10% if we really want to. I just don't think that's gonna be worth it though. Also, why are these turn-ins worth so much less? That's one other thing that's a little bit confusing. Why is these both almost at the same level, yet we're getting like 100k more, a little more than 100k, for turning and smithing. Yeah, it's an easier turn-in than the other one. I don't know why they made Stonemason this much worse. Like, yeah, it is a little bit of a lower level, but not by that much right now. Like, they're both really similarly leveled. Alright, this is the impact guy, so he wants the fist thingy. Here you go. Here's your fist thingy. Am I even gonna make it to the other guy in time? These things are so badly positioned, I'm not even gonna get 3 in with 1 potion. We're only gonna get a double. Because I'm not sure we get to this guy in time. We got 20 seconds. I don't know, maybe we'll make it, barely. And this guy wants the yellow weapon, the big 2-hand weapon. Yeah, we're barely gonna make it. Oh, not you. Use item on, big yellow weapon. Here you go, eat quicker. We'll shove it down your throat. There we go. Alright, we barely made it in time. Alright, now we go teleport to the other 2, or other 3. Do we bother using a 10% here? Probably not. Mostly because we wouldn't be able to get the knowledge point in after. I don't know, I guess we still could for the sake of it, though. I guess I will just to time it. For the sake of science. So we'll use a 10% here. Give him his shield. We then go turn into Kanzak. And then we see if we can make the other one in time. Kanzak, right there. Use item on, big sword. Fight the blue one. Alright, let's see if we can make it to the green guy by the time this 10% goes down. I think we can. We could probably even do some mining on our way there. Unfortunately, we won't gain a knowledge point by then. Even though both of these are 2 times and they give decent knowledge, they don't give that much knowledge. Not enough for a full knowledge point there. It will be a lot, though. But not that much a lot. Ah, maybe. I don't think we're gonna make it, though. It's a long walk. I'll find out. I just don't think we're gonna be able to get on our way there to the rest of the knowledge. See how close we get, though. Get more tier 7 granite. We're gonna have so much tier 7 granite whenever we need it. By the time I can use tier 7 granite, we're gonna have over 1,000 banked. Mostly from Filtration Station. Though some of it from Stonemason bounties. Alright, do I have enough to mine all these? Yeah, with at least 20 seconds left, I think we should. So don't grab those 4, but we could definitely grab these other 2. And I should barely be able to make it in time. Alright, that's good to know. So we could turn in 1 kobold, 1 shield, and this guy. And still have enough time to mine everything across the area. That's good to know for later. And that's pretty much exact timing. Even enough time to grab 1 rock here. Though that'd likely be allocated to use a knowledge point. Alright, there we go. Alright, what else do we need while we're in the area? Where's that everything? Because we got our level. Oh yeah, Filtration Station. Let's go do Filtration Station real quick. We'll go teleport over to that. And then we'll head over to our Forge or AFK. But yeah, we gotta go get whatever the Filtration Station assignment was. I don't remember what it was, but there was at least 1 thing for it, so let's go grab it. I'm pretty sure it's quicker to teleport. I'm not sure. Maybe it would have been quicker to walk. It's hard to tell. They're both a pretty comparable distance. Maybe it should have been better just to walk there. But oh, we're teleporting. Let's go see what our bounty is for Filtration, and then we'll end on that and then go to our Forge or AFK. And then slowly keep chipping that Forge to max. We're getting there. Week after Easter, we'll 100% go make sure to go get it max. Alright, I'll put this in here. Grab these two as well. And of course, grab the bounty board. I think there's only one bounty, but one is better than none. Because we still haven't maxed out all the difficulties yet. We've gotten a lot of them to max, but not all of them yet. Once we get tier 8 and can just spam them like crazy, it should be pretty easy though. Oh nice, we got double. We got a basic and a twin. Basic is max, twin definitely is not yet. I think twin still needs about another dozen. Alright, what do we need here? This is said very hard difficulty. This looks like basic. What's very hard about this one? It's a very straightforward setup. I do need another vertical there, though. Oops, I meant to move the other one first. That's fine, though. And then we move that over there, move that over there. Where's my bottom left at? Over there. I then need that over there so that can go over there. Where's my top left so I can move the other one right over there? Is there any way I need to move this anywhere? No, I just need a vertical into, Oh, I should have moved this side into it first. I didn't need to move grab the other one. Was it really that easy? Am I going crazy? Oh, wait, whoops. I forgot the other, horizontal, though. Should probably put that there before we click the speed up button. You technically could do it the other way around, but it might be a little tight trying to bring it there in time. Alright, now let's go do twin. Which I would definitely say is the hardest one that I've seen so far. There's definitely been some challenging layouts that come up through this. Okay, so I just gotta bring it there into there. Okay, that seems really straightforward. This is a really easy twin. And then we just do vertical, 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 and then I just need the bottom right one, which is right over there. But yeah, we just do that, do that, do that. Then we do that, so we can do that. Then we just need big vertical over to the other side. I probably should use that horizontal while I was over there, though. But I can just do that to... where's my bottom right? Let me just get that all the way so we don't need to worry about that later. Let me go finish doing this one then. So I need a vertical. Where's my vertical? Give me a vertical over there. I'm then going to need to move this over there so it doesn't get in the way. Which is already set up there. Then I just get a horizontal into a horizontal. I can then use that vertical to go do the other thing. So we can do that. I then need to move the vertical over there from that. We then need to curve the other one over, but I could use that vertical, though I probably should have moved the top right into it first. You just grab that now. Okay. Oh, wait, right over there. Oh, wait, oops. I forgot to set up the other thing. I'm actually going to have to use a rewind here. I haven't need to do that in a while. I forgot the bottom right there. Thought that was already connected. Whoops. You generally never want to rewind. I do ever so occasionally do it. Mostly if I forgot something. Which we did right there on accident. Happens sometimes. It does cost you, I believe, some amount of points, but for the amount of time it saves, it's normally worth using it if you absolutely have to. But it's mostly just to fix mistakes like that. I thought I already put the piece down there. I didn't realize. Oh, whoops. But yeah, I think we got like 10% less XP for doing that, but it's better than have to restart the whole puzzle. And then we grab our granite with our double real quick. And then we head to our AFK activity, which is currently still Forager. Even though we were doing Bone right at the beginning of the stream, that was just because I wanted to be near the bounties when we started. But, of course, our actual main passive right now is still trying to get Forager to max, so we can get the extra Venture slot. It's going to take me a little bit longer than expected, just because I'm a little bit busy the next few weeks. Like, we can't, like, dedicate, like, major grind streams towards it. But, the week after Easter, 100%, we will have max level Forager. We will have that Venture slot, we will have the monument completed. And, yeah, we'll go do, like, the whole monument in, like, one single go or something. Get, like, all the upgrades at once. Alright, let me go bank these, because I do want to grab the plants on my way over. So let me go bank all this. Also, where's everyone in Town Square? Town Square is so empty now with everyone in Mind Matubin today. There's a ghost town over there. I wonder what all the free-to-play people are doing, because technically free-to-play can't do smithing bounties today. So they can't actually go do that. There's something I keep forgetting about these updates, too. It's because I always have membership active. But yeah, smithing bounties and stonemason bounties are both members only. Smithing bounties still seem kind of broken, though. Especially after seeing how average stonemason bounties are. Smithing bounties seem, like, mega broken. I hope they don't nerf them, though. But they are really strong compared to almost every other bounty system. Especially if you get really good at doing filtration quickly, with no mistakes. And this is our AFK activity. Yeah, I was right. I said we had about 60% left. We have 62%. I could kind of tell based on where our level range was, roughly. But there's still no way to check it in this menu. Like, if I wanted to check in this menu right now how much I have left, none of these buttons will tell me how much percent I have left of that 2 times. But if you go to the activity, of course, it will tell you right at the bottom. But you have to, like, go to check it. Hopefully this menu will have it eventually. But anyways, guys, that'll wrap it up for now. As far as Brighter Shores streams are concerned, probably won't have one again until next Monday or, you know, next major update day. Next major update day should be Leatherworker, so I'm not sure how much we'll do of that. Just because, you know, Leatherworker is a pretty AFK activity. If I had to guess, it's going to be similar to Forager Gloves in that it should increase the rate that you can go do all the things for Forager by about 20%, is my assumption of what it will do. Which is way stronger on Leatherworker than it is on Forager, just because you don't have to worry about any kind of weird loop or anything like that. Leatherworker gets a lot more of a benefit from a 20% boost, assuming it does get the same amount compared to something like Forager. So if that is ultimately what it gets, this is a huge, huge buff to Forager, and is based on your mining level, which is really good for us because we're tier 8 mining. So we'll be able to have basically everything except the final upgrade pretty much for Leatherworker for next week's Monday. So we'll do that then. I'm not sure if we'll have any grind streams in between. We'll probably do a little bit of old school RuneScape maybe this week if I stream the hardcore bingo. That's going to be starting this Thursday and going all the way, I think, until the following week Sunday. Like pretty much like the day before Easter. So I think it goes to like Saturday then or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, it lasts for like 9 days. Yeah, I think it's from that Thursday. It's from this week's Thursday to the following week Sunday. Am I going to be streaming it at all? I have no clue. But we ended up winning last time and getting 3rd place on the winning team out of like 100-something people. So, yeah, we might stream some of it for the fun of it and see how that goes. It depends what some of the tasks are and everything, because I'm not sure what I'm going to have to grind for the team and everything. But it's interesting enough. I'll probably do a couple streams for it here and there just to kind of throw it down. I just don't think I'll be doing it like every single day, but where applicable, we'll go and probably stream it a little bit just to kind of show it. Since I didn't actually show it the one time that we did to kind of win and everything. But who knows? But we'll try winning again this time. The reward pool is quite a bit lower this time, though. But, you know, you kind of just do it for the fun. And to be encouraged to actually grind stuff you normally wouldn't grind. But yeah, we'll do that sometime later this week. But next Brighter Shore stream isn't until next week's Monday or whenever they release the Leatherworker buff. That's based on your mining level, which we pretty much get every buff. So we'll get to see pretty much all of them on that day next week. And of course, in between that, I'll still be working on Forager here and there. And in between that, I'll still be checking smithing and now Stonemason bounties. So we can start getting those to tier 8 and beyond. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Wonderful, I almost say weekend. We're ways away from the weekend. Hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye, everyone, and thanks for watching.